I hope you guys are ready. We're going to be talking about Chris Chan today and his wall of originals, which are his Sonichu OCs that were Pokemon cards. One thing that you need to know, a lot of the times these characters would get their designs in the Pokemon cards first before they would get their design as an actual character. So the cards you see here are probably the original designs of these characters. Hello, Lewis. So we're going to be talking about this. I've zoomed it in, so hopefully you guys can read along if you want to. The Wall Originals, aka the Failing Wall, was a large relic of Fail showing Christian Weston Chandler's customizable Pokemon cards, which hung on one of the walls in Chris's room. The lighting of several of his videos suggested that the sheet was covering a window, but the Tom Girl pics released on the 29th of April 2011 showed that that probably wasn't the case. We're gonna show you the wall now, so you get a good idea of what this is. Oh yeah, I know the time zones are differing around the world, so yeah, my morning is someone's noon, my morning is someone's night. But yeah, as you can see, this is Chris Chan's room in the early 2000s, late 90s. We can see Sonic Happy Meal box that's probably from Sonic Heroes, but I want to say it's from Sonic Adventure 2. But I don't know what they gave out during Sonic Adventure 2's run, because that's Sonic Adventure 2's pose. So I don't know what Happy Meal toys were given out in Adventure 2. But if you look on the wall back here, you can see the chaotic combo and early concept of them. What's strange is there's someone down at the bottom that I don't recognize. So I might actually have to do a video about that. That's a character I don't recognize of Chris's. Because we see Angelica, we see Magichan, we see Wild, we see Bubbles, we see Punchy. But this figure down here, it's hard to make out who they are. We can see Bionic over here, and I think that's an Amy Rose. And then Black Chew right there, and then we get this mysterious character here that we don't know who that is either, so that's weird. Weird purple hedgehog girl, I don't know who that is. But now looking at his wall, we see, is that, she's dressed like Chris Chan, but that's definitely a Rosachu, so I have no idea what's going on here. There's a bunch of weeaboo shit hung on the wall because of course Chris Chan is into the weeaboo shit. Posters for all of the Sonic video games. Fucking insanity. And then you can see the Wall of Originals over there, which is the subject of this video. But I go off subject a lot. I just like looking at this room, really. It's weird. So, let's get back to the subject we are talking about. Some trolls speculate that the absence of the wall in the Tom Girl pictures indicated that it had been removed. Whether that was meant to be permanent or temporary is unclear. In July 2017 tweet, he revealed that the last 3 cards survived the house fire. In June 2018, more cards surfaced when he sold 9 of them on eBay for $100. So Chris Chan ended up finding some of these Sonichu original cards, which I'm pretty sure he made the other ones. I don't know if he made more afterwards, but these are definitely original right here, these 3. And he ended up selling all 9 of the custom cards that he made for $100. So, shockingly enough, there are people out there who wanted to buy these cards for $100. And if you're curious how he made them shine, he put aluminum foil on them. So that's why you can see a shine effect to these cards. He didn't actually print out something that would make them shine. Instead, he just put aluminum foil on them. And if you look at the bottom, you can always see the date when he made these cards. 2001. And then this one's too destroyed for me to tell what date it is, but I would guess 2001 as well. Things to note, there are several interesting trends which emerge. One takes in all Chris cards. They provide some insight into his game design process, which further support the traits of Chris featured on the Quickie. Some interesting notes about the cards include The earlier cards that feature Chris Chan depicting him as a disgusting mutant with a wide flat nose and thick lips. That's terrible. I want to see that. I want to see if they have a pic for that. Oh no. Oh no. That is definitely not the subject of today's video. Maybe another day. Maybe another day, but not today. This eventually branches out, including terrifying photoshops where expressions Chris is jammed into crude MS Paint backdrops. Note, the first appearance of female alternate for Pikachu, tastefully dubbed as Chikachu, who can only deal damage when accompanied by her boyfriend. Wow, because women can't do anything without men. You really are great, Chris Chan. There was his Pokemon Plautistic, which is a plant that is autistic. Ah, great. Fucking, you always gotta throw your autism into everything, don't you, Chris? It's all about your fucking autism. It is extremely likely Chris seemed to think that his autism gave him psychic power. My autism gives me psychic powers. Of course, Chris. Chris showed up as a trainer, a gym leader, as well as a Pokemon in these cards' identities. Chris has multiple forms, personas. This trend is totally in line with Christian's theme of acquiring a plethora of powers with little to no effort or explanation. Yeah, some people will be confused by the new Sonichu comics because Chris will have a My Little Pony form and a few other different forms. Chris can have whatever power and whatever transformation he wants, and he doesn't have to explain it. He just does that. So he was Sonichu one day, now he's a pony. That's just how Chris's writing process works. You can never expect consistency from him. He has created himself as a normal type in which he depicted as an autistic Pokemon. This reinforces the conclusion that he considers autism a superpower in some respects. Autism is not a superpower. It's a super weakness. For people on the internet, anyway. Many of his handmade cards have devastatingly effects on several complementary effects at once. This allows Chris to pull off combos with only 1 or 2 cards. According to the field reports about his card game techniques, Chris would need these hugely layered card effects because his deck building skills are rather poor. Oh, Chris sucks at Pokemon, who could have guessed that? Despite spending considerable time on them, Chris does not try to use these cards in official games that the game plays. Well, I wouldn't suspect he would, because he would get kicked the fuck out of there. He's autistic, he's not utterly fucking dumb. You have to know what you can and can't use. Also, bye Mr. Man, cringe boy. But, some of these cards are based off of pre-existing Pokemon, such as Blue Dolphin or Togepi. They are most likely made in response to early Gen 2 leaks. Yoshi and Luigi cards are based on obviously fake Nintendo April Fool's Day pranks. Chris produced at least 3 holographic cards using aluminum foil, which is a very shiny component. Now we're going to actually be looking at all these cards. So we're going to look at all the ones that aren't just duplicates. If there's duplicates, I will skip over them. First, we're going to look at this Luigi. First thing you want to notice about Luigi, he is now bald. He has a Stewie Griffin-like head. His overhaul straps don't actually go all the way up. His body proportions are terrible, and the only background he has is pipes. His attack is Wrench and Water Wave. I can't fucking read that. I want to say Discord, but I could be wrong. And he does 20 and 30 damage. His weakness is Fighting type? I can't read this. I can't. So, you're gonna have to excuse me. You're gonna have to excuse me with just skipping that card because I can't read that. Now we have Espan? Is it Espan or is it Espanol? Let me look at that. Yeah, I can't fucking read that. It's entitled Espan Gift, so we're gonna call it Espan. It's a little sombrero. It's got a cute design to it. It's got a little body underneath the hat. I could see Nintendo doing something similar to this. Its attack is Espanol Confusion, and does 10 damage, and you flip a coin, and if it lands on heads, then the Pokemon becomes confused. So it can only do 10 damage. It's not that strong of a Pokemon at all, even for a make-believe one. This one was made in 1999. Its weakness is, I want to say it's rock or fire. I think that's fire. Yeah, I'm going to say it's fire, because this is a grass Pokemon for sure. But yeah, that's a cute little Pokemon. That's a cute little Pokemon you came up with there. That one's not terrible. But what can't be said is for its evolution. Its evolution instead looks hideous. The little bulb at the bottom has now turned into leafy feet and leafy arms. It gets better moves, but it loses a lot of the charm that the original design had. And I think it's called Vagaton? Vagaton. I'm trying to read his terrible writing, but I can't really understand it. He has Razor Leaf, Discord, and Spanish Flytrap. Wait, Spanish Fly... I can't fucking read that. I'm gonna say trap. I don't fucking care. I can't read your writing, Chris, at all. Fucking weird ass Pokemon. I didn't like that one. I don't like that one's design, period. These are some of the Gen 2 leaks that he just started giving names to, even though I don't know if they had names when they were leaked. I don't know this Pokemon's real name, but it's a dog from Gen 2, and he just called it Blue for some reason. No idea why he called it Blue. I guess he couldn't wait for the Gen 2 Pokemon to come out, so he decided to make his own cards because he was really excited about it. Instead of the dog Pokemon it's based off of those, looks more like a horribly deformed Ditto. It looks like a Ditto that tried to transform and then failed terribly. But yeah, it can do Fairy Powder and Bite. And this one's made in 1999 also, so you can tell that Chris's drawing really has improved throughout the years. Really great improvements. We got a Meryl here, and it's called Baniru. I think that's actually the Japanese name. I think that's possibly the Japanese name. It's got Water Gun and Thunder Wave. People kept thinking it was going to be electric because of its tail. No, it's just water. It's just water. It's just a water Pokemon. But its design, how Chris drew it, is terrible. It looks like a terribly deformed blue Pikachu. It doesn't even look like a Meryl. We got a Togepi, but that's not really important. There's nothing special to have Togepi, so... Then we get a DHCT. That's so close to being my initials. So fucking close. I have no idea what this thing is. I think he's trying to go for like an ancient legendary, because it's got like mutated writing right there. I can't figure out what the fuck it's saying. And the only move it's got is Broken Stick, and it does 30 damage. This is also a 1999 card. This might be from Pokemon Leaks, so I don't know. And yeah, I remember You Hell No. I will be answering questions and stuff at the end of this stream, so if I'm not interacting with you right now, just know I will be soon. So don't leave if I'm not answering you. We got Huffaru. I don't know what the fuck that says. I can't read that. It's got Dizzy Punch and Poison Breath, and it's a terribly deformed Kangaskhan. I don't know what the fuck this thing is. It's got like a big goofy smile. Its face looks hideously deformed, and it looks like it's a black caricature. It's got weird Knuckles the Echidna type gloves. It's got a X on its belly, hinting that it has somewhat relation to coughing. I have no clue what the fuck this is, but this is one of his 1999 cards still. We're not in the 2000s yet. Next is Drum, and I could see Pokemon doing this if they get desperate enough. He might have named it something else. I think that's like Drummond. I don't know. It could be Drummond or Drummond. But yeah, its move is Sonic Boom, and that does 20. This is also a 1999 card. This design isn't terrible, because it's a weird-looking Pokemon hidden inside of a drum, and it's got weird-looking drum arms. Hi, Shock Mouse. You really find your way into the cringe streams. It's not terribly designed, but it's still Chris. Let me skip this song. This song's a little too dramatic. I think this is its evolution. Symbolic? Oh, because it's a symbol. That's somewhat clever. That's about as clever as you're gonna get from Chris. Its move is Hard Clash, and that does 40. You could tell it's from the original design, but yet again, the feet. The feet is what throw me off about this design, just like that Sombrero Pokemon. The feet is terrible. Why did you give it legs? The legs are terrible to its overall design. And it looks like it's got like some electric effects going on, but it's got no electric moves, so I have no idea what these lightning bolts are for. This is called Flash Bulb, and it's a weird little bug with a Pokeball on its ass, and the Pokeball is actually a light. I think the Pokeball being a light is clever, because the white of a Pokeball does kind of look like a flashlight, and it's alright. I've seen better, but it's alright. It looks like one of those little caterpillars from Mario, its face does. Overall, I would say it's an alright design if a child made this, but instead it was a 20-year-old man making this. The face doesn't look like something that would come out of Pokemon, and its only move is String Shot, so it's fucking worthless. This is still a 1999 card. Oh, thank you, Daisy. This is its evolution. Hello, Rhyme. This is its evolution. Coon Bulb? I get what you're doing. It was a fly last time, so now it's a cocoon, but calling it Coon Bulb is not a good idea. Coon Bulb does not bring the best ideas to my head, especially because we're talking about Chris Chan. I'm not very happy about that. But this is definitely an electric Pokemon. It's got Electric Jolt and Harden. So he was basically trying to make a better version of... Fuck, I forget what that Pokemon's name is. It's the Cocoon Pokemon from Gen 1. I fucking forget its name. Sorry, I'm not that big into Pokemon. We then see... Oh, it's the Flash Bulb again. I guess that's a better artwork, though. That's far better artwork. Did he print this off? This actually has text on it. I guess his quality stepped up over time. This says 2000s on the bottom of the card, so I guess in the 2000s he decided to quit hand drawing the whole card and just draw the art. I mean, that's clever. That's more better than the other one. Metapod, thank you, Blue Storm, you saved my life. But yeah, this is alright. If all of his cards look like this, that's not terrible. That's not a terrible design. I think calling it Christian's Flash Bulb, though, is stupid, but I guess it's supposed to be Christian as a trainer. You can see the horribly deformed Chris Chan down there, a little bit. But, it's not bad. That's not a bad design. Oh, is this Chris Chan's, Coon Bulb? Yes, it is. So he made Coon Bulb and the Flash one for him, and you can see horribly deformed Chris down there. His 2000s cards look a lot better than his 1999 cards, so I guess you can see some improvement. You can see some improvement. I will be backing up the Shadow the Hedgehog stream. It's just I've been doing a lot. I've been really busy. When I get the time, I will do that. It is saved on my computer, and it will be edited, and it will be put up. So sorry that's taken me a bit. Christen's Bug Zap. Oh, it's like a bug zapper. That's pretty fucked because it's actually a bug. But it's clever. We didn't get to see the original artwork for this. We only get to see this new artwork. But hell, I prefer the new artwork. It's better. I don't know what this symbol is, the gray symbol. I think that's a symbol he made up. But it's an electric Pokemon, so it makes sense. It's an alright designed card. Chris Chan looks terribly deformed still down there. But other than that, it's alright artwork. I will shit on Chris Chan when he deserves it, but when he does half decent artwork, I will also tell him he did decent. Wheeler. That's a fucking the fucking Voltorb. That's a Voltorb in a fucking tire. That's not a new Pokemon. That doesn't count, Chris. That doesn't count. That's not a new Pokemon. I don't even think Pokemon Team would get that desperate. What the fuck? Oh, Chris sucks at drawing. I give him shit all the time for his drawings, but when they're decent, I'll say they're decent. Ah, fuck, I clicked off the page. Hot Fin, what the fuck is it? Hot Finish. I think it's supposed to be a car. But Nintendo wouldn't do a car Pokemon. They go for organic Pokemon, not weird fucking Pokemon with wheels. Agility 20, Fin Slap 30. I don't know what the fuck this is. I don't like it. It's ugly. It's extremely ugly. I don't like that design at all. It doesn't even look like a Pokemon, Chris. Oh no, it gets worse. This is its evolution. What the fuck? I'm not even reading its name. It's hideous. It's not even a Pokemon. It's a human that has like a weird fucking robot head. Tire punch, 40 damage. That's terrible. This is terrible artwork altogether. This is really fucking bad, Chris. It doesn't even look like a Pokemon. Oops, I opened that wrong. No, I don't care about Strong Tire. I don't care. It's poorly designed. I'm skipping over that Pokemon. Fuck it. I'm not fucking looking at that. Compu Frog? I don't get the joke. I mean, it's not terribly designed. I could see that being a Pokemon. Some weird type of steel type. I could go for that. Steel grass type. Conversion and Confused Ray. Defending Pokemon weakness. I don't fucking care. It's an alright design. It's not god awful, but I've seen way better. Is this another real Pokemon? I'm trying to skip over the real ones. Yeah, that's another real Pokemon that he sucks at drawing. That's a Meryl. Here's his Yoshi card from the Nintendo April Fool's Day prank. He draws Yoshi alright if it isn't traced. That's a decent looking Yoshi. Tongue Wrap, which is 10, and Kick, which is 20. So those are real moves that Yoshi would have if he did become a Pokemon by Blue Storm. So that's not terribly out of left field with his moves. We don't have a lot. We don't have a lot to go through. So don't think this is gonna be the whole thing. Plautistic. This is the plant that is autistic. I mean, I don't see what's autistic about it at all. Like, I don't see how it's autistic. Oh, you see that has a Psyshock, so you see that it is psychic. So I think their theory earlier might be correct. Holy, the chat in my screen just paused and blew up with comments. Oh, sorry if that happened. It might be just slow. But this is the plant that's autistic. When will I get to ask questions? When I'm done looking at these cards, we'll go to the questions part of the stream. But for right now, we're just looking at terrible Pokemon. This is what I wanted to do with this stream. Oh, fuck. Oh, fuck. I didn't even notice that. We've been missing so many of these. Oh, great. Oh, great. I'm just gonna skim over it. I'm not gonna do anything too big. bush is just a bush. Fucking just a bush. I'm just gonna show the ones that we missed so we can get caught back up. I didn't know that it scrolled that far. Oh, this is Bugs, so I guess he did show that. And Bugs has a decent design even in its bad artwork. I'm sorry, I didn't notice that there was like a whole extra page over there. Oh, it's a Wheeler. Wheeler always has a terrible fucking design. And, okay, so we're done with those. Now we can continue with these. We're almost to Sonichu. We are almost to the main man himself. Why does Christian think he's a good artist? I have no idea. Dolphin. Oh, yeah, that's a real Pokemon. He just sucks at drawing it. And now, we're finally here to Sonichu. This is Chris Chan's original Sonichu card. That is the original artwork for Sonichu. Hello, Gimma. Yeah, that's the original artwork for Sonichu. And you could tell Chris put a little bit more effort into this card than he did with his other cards. This is probably one of the first cards to be of this high quality. Like, it does suck still, but he's trying. And that's the exact same artwork he used on his album cover. So, he didn't make new artwork, but he used decent artwork. So that's the beginning of Sonichu right there. That's the first Sonichu design. This is the shiny Sonichu, which is just the Sonichu card covered in foil. He probably ruined the half-decent looking card to make this tinfoil abomination. Now, you'll notice as it goes on, Chris Chan just starts focusing on Sonichu. This is Chris Chan's Sonichu, because back then he was going to make more than one original Sonichu, but now there is only Chris Chan's Sonichu. And this card right here, we can actually see the fucked up looking Chris Chan more clearly. He is fucking hideous. I don't know why he thought he would draw his face like that. He's not that ugly. He's ugly, but he's not that ugly. It can do quick attack, but weirdly enough, it has no lightning moves. It has nothing electric at all to it. That's weird. That's weird seeing how it's an electric Pokemon. God, it's even worse, yeah. This one's 10 times worse. Dark Sonichu, back when Pokemon did that stupid dark gimmick. Quick attack, lightning speed, there's nothing dark to this. I mean, it looks slightly fucked up in the face, but I don't see how it's dark. Whenever Sonichu is full of anger, it runs off while leaving fiery trail behind it. Level 28. I just don't like this. This is fucking hideous. This is a bad design. I think this was made in MS Paint. It wasn't even drawn by Chris. You can ask a question. I'm just not guaranteeing I'll answer it right now. Questions happens when I'm out of stuff to talk about. Right now we're still looking at the cards. Surfing Sonichu based off of the Surfing Pikachu, and if you actually read Sonichu's bio, that's in there, that he can surf, and I think he might know how to swim. Sonichu's legs are hideously drawn there. He looks like a weird bow-legged frog creature. Those legs are too long for his fat body. It makes no sense proportion-wise. His weakness is, I think that's fighting, or rock. I can't tell because he sucks at drawing it. His resistance is nothing. He can do surf and tin, but why would he be able to do surf just because he has a surfboard? He's not a water-type Pokemon. Everyone's little brother can draw better than Chris. Please draw a Sonichu. I might draw a Sonichu just to see if I can do it better than Chris. I have hardly any digital drawing experience, but I might do it just to see if I can do it better than Chris. That might be a whole video one day. Snowboarding Sonichu. This is different than surfboarding Sonichu. This is snowboarding. Snowboard kick 20 and quick attack 10. This Sonichu looks less fucked up, but he still has the weird looking legs. Sonichu 2000 is written on the board. At least Chris was experimenting with digitally drawing, but this is terrible. You can see the white lines around the drawing. It's just bad. It's bad and it makes no sense as a Pokemon. You just can't give him these random fucking moves. Oh, another Christian Sonichu. This is him out in battle. There's nothing special about that one. If it's boring, I'll skip over it so we can save time. I don't know what those numbers are. What the fuck are those numbers? S46? I have no idea what that means. Oh, I think it's supposed to be dice, because this is Lucky Spin Dash. I don't know. I don't know what that is in the background, but that Sonichu looks weird also. That's weird. After being exposed to 7 Chaos Emeralds, a Pikachu transformed into a Sonichu. So he had the description of Sonichu written down in the cards already, so he might have already planned to have an origin before he even thought of the comic. Blank's Sonichu. So I guess this could be anyone's Sonichu. You give it to someone as a birthday card. That's actually clever. I'll give him that. This is actually a pretty clever card. It's got a little birthday wish. This is a sweet little gift. If someone was to give me this, I would put it in my drawer and never look at it again. But it's sincere. He probably gave this to so many people, though. I would guarantee he gave this to like 20 fucking people. Another Sonichu, and it's got a creepy ass looking Sonic in the background. I'll try to speed it up. I don't want to be here all day. I don't want to bore you guys. So I'll try to speed it up. If you give me that card, I'll be grateful. Racing Sonichu. It's a Sonichu in a car. It's got Vrooma Zoom Zoom as one of its moves. Vrooma Zoom Zoom. What the fuck? And they burn the card? Yeah, that's the response to have to that. It's like, why would you give me something so terrible? Signing Sonichu, and he didn't even try with this one. He didn't make the whole card aluminum foil. Only the Sonichu. He got a little lazy there. It's got Supersonic Quick Dash as its move. That's bad artwork on the Sonichu too. It's not terrible, but it's bad. So many Sonichus. So many fucking Sonichus. Sonichu and Rosachu. I don't think tag team Pokemon were a thing at the time, so Chris Chan might have invented that. Idea. Or I could be wrong and just don't know fucking Pokemon. Sonichu, that's god-awful. I'll be skipping the Sonichus now. I feel like we've gotten enough look at the basic Sonichus, so this will be the last Sonichu I look at. Oh god, it's fucking awful. It's supposed to be one of the special cards that you get. Ah god, I don't know what that purple vortex is behind him. Okay, now we get to look at Blackchu, or Blake. Black Sonichu. God, his fucking face. Chances are this is one of his first designs too. It's like one of the first times Chris drew him, and God, he's fucking hideous. What the hell is wrong with his face? It looks like he's melting. It literally looks like he's melting. Yeah, he is a basic Pokemon, alright. Here's a slightly better one. Giovanni's Black Sonichu. He actually vandalized the Giovanni card to make this, so fuck you, Chris. Fuck you. I like Giovanni and his Pokemon. It's got Black Sonichu. It's not terrible artwork. You could tell he's been practicing here. This is probably one of the closer to finalized designs for the comic. It's got a Team Rocket logo in the background. It's alright. It's alright. It's not god-awful, but it's not good either. Skipping over that one. We got Wild Sonichu. God, you structured these terribly. Thunder Shock, Razor Leaf, and Slash are his moves. It's not terrible. If I've got nothing to say about the artwork, I'm just skipping over it. But just remember, the designs you see on these cards, these are the original designs for the characters, so that is the original Punchy. That's how Punchy looked like when Chris first drew him. This is how Magichan looked like when Chris first drew him. So it's a nice little archive to see how Chris's drawings evolve. Magi-chan looks literally like a purple Sonichu here. There's nothing unique to him. Everyone looks about the same in this early Chris Chan art style. I mean, they never really improve, but they do start to look slightly different later. Metonic. Metonic was Sonichu's evolution that hasn't made it into the comics yet, into the official comics. There was a what if future scene where he was Metonic, but this is Sonichu's evolution. He turns into a literal knight, so Sonichu is an actual white knight. I'm wondering if this will ever work its way into the comics, if anyone will actually turn into a Metonic, and if it's exclusive to just the original Sonichu, or if it's a evolution anybody can get. Really curious about that. Genuinely curious. I think this is another Metonic. Yeah, it's another Metonic, just slightly different drawn. It's not shiny like the other one. And this is another evolution for Sonichu, but would become a transformation in the final arc of Sonichu, Ultra Sonichu. This is basically his super form, and you can see that it needs all the Chaos Emeralds at the bottom. So it's not really an evolution, it's just a transformation, which is weird because Pokemon having transformations makes no sense. Did you know Chris Chan is on the Villains Wiki? Oh, that's funny. Yeah, this is the design that Ultra Sonichu would have in the final comic. So it's weird to think that Chris drawing this all the way back in 2000 would work this into the comics like fucking 9 years later. Something he came up with so many years ago would come back to play a role in the later comics. It's weird. This is Chris's first drawing of a Sani, which is the pre-evolution for Sonichu, but would later become Sonichu's son/daughter if you believe the whole trans bullshit. This is the first time he designed a Sani, and he was really proud of this. It was basically the Pichu pre-evolution for Sonichu, but we now know that Sanis are more like a baby form and not really a pre-evolution. I mean, you could call it a pre-evolution, but they don't stay Sanis long enough to even fucking matter. I'm gonna look at one Rosachu, and it's gonna be this one, because it's the only one with original artwork to where it's not just the designs we'd see later. It's hard to tell because of how distorted this drawing is, but her face is weird. It's really weird. I think those are Zap Buds behind her, which is weird because that's not the design of a Zap Bud. Later on, Zap Buds would be red. So he didn't even have the design for her favorite flower finalized yet, oddly enough. The rest of these Rosachus just look like... Oh, is that a slightly redesigned one that we just saw? Yeah. It's not terrible. It's not terrible, but it's also bad. This is the original artwork for Bubbles. I never liked the Chaotic Combo. I never liked any of Sonichu, but the Chaotic Combo are extremely forgettable. Vampiroso, a fucking vampire Rosachu. That's weird. I wonder if Vampirosa will ever get into anything. I can't read what her description is, but I'm curious if this concept will ever be visited again. I'm sure this is just a one-time what-if thing, but I wonder if this character will be worked into anything. Hi, Mega P. It's good to see you here. I didn't know you'd be interested in Chris Chan's Sonichu streams. I'm always shocked to see who pops into these. Good to see you, Mega P. Mega P is a Sonic YouTuber. If you like Sonic stuff, go check him out. He makes good content. He tried to deal with Sonichu once, but he cracked down pretty easily. This is the original Rosie design, which is the pre-evolution to Rosachu. It's terrible. It looks like she's naked. It looks like she's naked because she doesn't have a top on. I think she'd be redesigned to have a tiny dress later, but right now she literally just has a skirt, which makes no sense for a child. Chris Chan, you are a man-child. How much longer will we be streaming? I'll be streaming until I gotta go. And right now I don't have to go. So I'm gonna keep streaming. Another cutscene song, so skip that. I don't know if this is an official Pokemon or not, but this is actually pretty cute. It's called Kelby? Kelby. It's actually pretty cute. It's a Pikachu knockoff, but I could see Nintendo doing a Pokemon that looks like this. I'm not interested, I'm just that bored. Fuck you, Mega P. Fuck you. I mean, I guess you gotta come here for a reason. You gotta come here for a reason, and boredom is not a bad reason. But yeah, Kelby isn't terribly designed. I never seen Kelby in Sonichu, which is weird. Anachop. Oh, Kelby evolves into Anachop. I think this is that weird figure from the wall earlier. I think that is. Let me scroll back up. Yeah, that's the weird figure on the wall, I think. It's weird that that character never worked its way in the Sonichu. Let me scroll back down. Yeah, this weird Anachop never worked its way in the Sonichu. That's weird. This character was created by Chris Chan, had a pre-evolution, but never made its way in. And this is well after all the characters have started becoming characters in the comics. Sonichu featuring Kelby. Kix Fairy? That's weird. That's an ugly fucking design. I think that would be worked in Zapina later. She looks like Zapina. Lure and Magic Wand are its moves. Terrible fucking design. Christian's Kelby. I'm not doing that, but Kelby looks ugly now. Thank you for ruining Kelby. Christian's Anchomp, which looks like it can fly. I'm really curious to why he never used Anchomp in anything. Like, Anchomp seems like something that's original. Why didn't he use it? God, these Christian variant types, I don't care. I'm genuinely shocked that this is all an actual thing. Yeah, this is real. This is real things that Chris Chan made. God, I opened that wrong. Kristen's Chris Chan. So, Chris Chan has a Chris Chan, which is the creator of Chris Chan and this card game? What? And he literally drew his body, which is a fucked up body with little skinny noodle arms, and he put a photo of his head on his cartoon body. He's got a Sonichu jacking off in the background, Nintendo 64 controller, and a completely different Pokemon. And his only move is Mega Punch, so he is a man. He is a man. Is that on the ED page? No, this is the Quickie. This is the Quickie. The Quickie has all this shit archived. ED wouldn't want this shit. Dark Chris Chan? Dark Chris Chan. Face palming so hard. Dark Chris Chan. There's nothing dark about him. He doesn't even look evil. He doesn't even look evil. This is one of the first designs of Chris Chan, and it actually makes its way into the Sonichu promotional art. So, despite this looking terribly deformed and hideous, it actually did make itself into a comic. How much time did he have for this? Fucking years. Like, years of his life was put into the card collection. The Wall of Originals had years of work put into it. This is Chris Chan's first design for a female Pikachu called Chikachu. Because he sucks at designing, he thought, girl version of Pokemon, give it a fucking bow and makeup. I don't know what that thing is around its neck. I mean, some people have said that this isn't hideously designed. I think it is. And plus, it needs a boyfriend to do anything, so it's terribly implemented. Hi, Mr. Cringe. Is that the evolution of it? Meichu? Yeah. Its evolution looks hideous. I'm gonna take a drink of my soda and just let you guys look at this abomination. Enjoy. Enjoy it. This could have been your Raichu. Your female Raichu. Be thankful that Chris Chan didn't get to design the female variants of Pokemon, because he can't draw worth a shit. CWCki, Chris Chan's Chikachu. Okay, it's still hideous. It's fucking ugly. I don't like Chikachu. I don't like its evolution either. They're bad. They're ugly. Oh no, Evals! Why wasn't this a character? Why wasn't this a character in Sonichu? Where is this character? I want to know where it is. This is an Eevee Tails mixture. Why isn't this a character in Sonichu? This so seems like it should have been a character in Sonichu. Where is Evals from the official Sonichu comic? And can he be worked into the later issues? I'm genuinely curious. Some of the characters Chris designed for these cards totally seem like something that would be in his comic, but it never happens. It never happens. He drew multiple variants of this Pokemon too. Oh god, he looks like a fucking wiener dog. He looks like a fucking wiener dog. But either way, why wasn't this in the comic? Like, there's no reason for it not to be in the comic. What soda am I drinking? Dr. Pepper for today. Superron. This is his evolution. Or his super form. It's his evolution. He's got rainbow tails. I like that. That's not a terrible design. He's just Tails the Fox OC, but I've got no room to talk when it comes to that. So, I don't know why that character never made it in anything. Armat, that looks terrible. What's a Dr. Pepper? Don't fuck with me. Armat again. Stealing? A steel cat? That's bad. I'm not interested in this crap. That's also boring. He like a hot dog? Sea tiger? I don't know. It's nothing really impressive. I want to see more characters that could have been in Sonichu. Balloon, Nightshade. It's a balloon Pokemon. We already have that. It's Jigglypuff. We don't need a ghost version of that. Okay, thank God this isn't in Sonichu. What the fuck is this? It has thunder thighs. It looks like a skunk. What is this abomination? It is a skunk. It's got stink up and smokescreen. Christian, I don't know if you know this, but traditional Pokemon don't wear fucking clothes. This looks like a Mobian OC. Looks like a Mobian OC. It doesn't look like anything that would come out of Pokemon. An energy. Is that a custom energy? Evil energy for his evil type that he made up. This is the trainer card for Sonic. That one's terrible. You didn't even try there, Chris. This is the later revision of that same trainer card. Looks better, but Sonic looks like he doesn't even have a fucking neck. He looks like one giant potato. Driftloon is a balloon Pokemon. Oh, I guess there is balloon Pokemon now. I'm not really into Pokemon, so sorry. Didn't know that there is a balloon Pokemon anymore. I've not been into Pokemon. Oh, this is the fucked up looking Chris-chan. You can see the terrible nose, the weird goggles he's got on. They're supposed to be glasses, but that's not an accurate representation of his glasses at all. Like, just look at that. Look at how ugly Chris-chan is there. He draws himself worse than I see him. And trainer, what trainer is that? Oh, a Quickville City Gym. Why would Turbo Rainbow get to be a trainer too? And why is his name changed? He was Evales earlier. Why is he Turbo Rainbow now? I don't get that. Oh, okay. So he works into the magical rainbow shit too. So why isn't he a Sonichu character? I don't get that. No, I don't care. Okay, I really think that's it. Let's just look at these last few trainer cards, and then I'm gonna be done. Hooked on Sonichu. It's someone who's addicted to Sonichu. Oh god, that's terrible. Sonichu Zord? No. No, I'm not getting Power Rangers involved in this fucking degeneracy. Hi, Marsh. I don't even get the reference there. We're almost done. We're almost done with this shit. So for those of you who've actually stayed here, thank you. Chris Chan's maintenance? I don't fucking care about this shit. I just want to see bad artwork. Oh god, Chris. Chris, what are you doing to yourself? Your face looks like it got stomped on. Ah, god, you're fucking hideous. I'm a Dexter Pokemon. Ah, god. You're hideous, Chris. You draw yourself so terribly. How did you not get terminal cancer? I do have terminal cancer. I'm fucking dying. Yeah, Dove. I'll go back to the Power Ranger thing just for a second. Here you go, Dove. You can look at this abomination while I drink this pop. I hope you enjoy. I hope you enjoy knowing that this exists. This is a thing. This is a thing that exists somewhere. Enjoy that. Enjoy the ears protruding from his belly. Enjoy that there's two faces to him. Hideous design. Now we get to look at his Duelist magazine covers. This is his Duelist magazine with the Luigi on the cover and one of his weird fucking Pokemon. Top deck, which has Sonichu. That's not a terrible looking Sonichu, to be honest. One cool Poke Snyder quick set future league info. So Chris wanted to make his own set of Pokemon cards. That's what this was. So his wall of originals was supposed to be his own Pokemon deck. This is the card sleeve, I want to assume, or maybe that's the background for his cards. Instead of a Pokeball in the middle, it's Sonichu jacking off. So, good card design. Good card design. Of course, he's got to slap his fucking initials on everything. Oh, this is when he started doing Yu-Gi-Oh! I don't know why it's included here, but this is Yu-Gi-Oh! Trap card. S-Chew Ball, so it's not a Chew Ball. Of course, Chris Chan is a trap, so this makes sense. This makes total fucking sense. And then that's just the fucking Chikachu and Meichu. So that's really it. That's all we've got. I hope you guys enjoyed seeing all this shit. We've seen some potential lost Sonichu characters here. Hey guys, Dylan here, and today we are doing a quickie discussion. Today's quickie discussion is on the classic. We start this off with a quote. I have just dug through the dirty half of those bags, more than 10 or 20 of them. Then in a bag of damp ones, I found the shirt. Chris on the shirt. Nonchalantly revealing Barb had hoarded 20 bags of old clothing after the fire. The classic is a red and blue, seemingly Ralph Lauren brand rugby shirt formerly worn by Chris from at least before December 20th, 2004 to when he became a Tom girl. It was initially thought to be lost in the 2014 to the destruction of Chris's house, which is the fire they're referring to, but had survived at the bottom of a soaked, grimy garbage bag full of clothing. Prompted by Chris's financial crisis, he went searching for it in April 2017, hoping to sell it to a fan. Now, one thing you need to know about clothing is, if clothing is left in water for long enough, it will slowly start to deteriorate. So I think most of the damage came from it being in that bag for so long. If Chris would have sorted through the clothes right after the fire, maybe it could have been saved, but he just waited far too long to try to do anything. It slowly rots. Although no such sale came to pass, as of August 2018, the original shirt is lost. As of October 2019, Chris owns Mark II Classic, almost the same as the original, but sporting orange and blue instead of the original orange, red, and blue. Well, then it's not the same shirt. I don't care. If it's not the same shirt, it doesn't matter to me. Don't call it the classic. History. The earliest known instance of Chris wearing the classic is in the All I Want for Christmas is a Pretty Girlfriend clip, a very famous one, infamous, filmed on December the 20th, 2004. The shirt made many appearances between 2005 and 2009. Chris wore it on February 25th, 2007 during Christian Weston Chandler's Future Mess Message, which is the iconic video, one of Chris's very first videos to be noticed by the internet. The first video he uploaded on YouTube. It's also the debut shirt from the comic book Chris, and that's really the only reason why it's famous at all, is because that's the shirt Chris wore in the comic. That's why everyone loves that shirt. Though the colors he draws are lighter than the real thing. Chris just kind of improvises with whatever crayons he has around, or markers. The shirt made its last appearance as of classic Chris era on the 23rd of November 2009, when he filmed a quick personal Sonichu presentation. On January 10th, 2014, 14 Branch Lane Court was gutted by a fire, which was caused by Chris. Maybe one day we'll do a video on how the fire happened. The shirt was thought to be lost by both Chris and his fans until April 2017, when he found it in a bag of laundry that was still damp from the water he used to put out the fire. Now, that's terrible. It probably had mildew all over it, and he went around wearing this thing. I'm gonna show you what the shirt looked like. I'm gonna open it up so you guys can see it. He actually rinsed this off and wore this thing. You can see how it decayed. No one should wear that. And you can see more fucked up shit. I hope he didn't keep any of this shit, because it can get moldy, and then you can actually start to suffer because of this type of stuff. It shouldn't even been in the house that long. It really shouldn't have. And I see he's got like one new washer, but the dryer looks ancient. Following the house fire and the subsequent renovation of the Chandlers moved back into 14 Branch Lane Court. Naturally, Barb insisted on bringing the horde back into the house, even though portions of it was ruined by the fire, or the efforts to extinguish it. The laundry room became the dumping ground for the mountain pile of trash, which you should clear that out, Chris, if you can, because that shit will make you sick. That might be why your health is failing, because you got a bunch of moldy shit lying around. The bags were filled with water and damaged clothing, which you shouldn't keep in your house. Trash bags festered for 3 years. On April 2017, Chris sifted through them as his quest to find the classic. The contents were laced with mold, like I thought they would be. Chris, being naive, failed to realize the health risk. I'll probably have another cold or something. My throat was feeling the familiar scratchy after going through those bags. A few of them had wet and dirt and wall lining all in them. You shouldn't have that, Chris. If your house has asbestos lining, that can give you cancer. I really don't think you understand how dangerous it is to keep that shit in your house. Dang, house fire, it's like cat litter. And the fact that you're irritated to it could either be from the mold, it could be from the installation. That all of that shit is dangerous for your health. After finding the classic and inspired by the successful sale of the Sonic Totem Relic for $1,500 2 weeks before, he listed the shirt on eBay for $12,000 minimum on the 19th of April 2017. He immediately snapped a photo of it, then posted it for a listing, not realizing that the mold growth evident in the picture would not entice sales. He later washed it and then posted a photo of it on eBay, replacing the original one. Well, that doesn't help Chris, because we already seen the first photo. Later, he recorded live game stream C-log, whatever numbers those are, the shirt to promote it. Donning the shirt for the first time in years. I wouldn't have wore that thing. Having last worn it in 2009's quick personal Sonichu presentation. 3 days later, the auction ended at $25,100. The winning bidder did not pay. What a shock. Humorously, Chris fails to realize that $25,100 is a gross overestimate of how much money it would be required to repair a piece of clothing, even those affected by water damage. And you can see like holes in the shirt. This is the shirt after he made the attempt to clean it. But really, there's just no saving that. It's beyond fucked. It's just so fucked up. I don't know why he would even try to fix that fucked up shirt. Restoration effort beyond help. Multiple tailors and cleaners upon seeing the shirt, according to Chris. Yeah, that's what I would say. Could any of you haters sew better? The hole was large. I sewed as good as possible. Then I reinforced the latter with a patch cover. Why would you do that? You should never patch. You shouldn't patch shirts like that. Why would you do that? If anything, this not only keeps it as iconic, but marks it as another masterpiece for myself, making it worth more. No. Any worth that it had is gone. Like, you had an obvious thing you could do. If I were you, I would have cut the shirt up, framed the pieces, and then sold the framed pieces for money. Like, you could have sold the frames for like $10 each, $20 each, and then people would have had little fabrics from the original shirt. And hopefully you sealed it enough to where it wouldn't contaminate people. Chris began an effort to restore the shirt on April 29, 2017. This shirt had sustained large tears as a result of neglect. He asked several professional tailors to repair it, however, they turned down the job as being too difficult. Undeterred, Chris set out to fix it himself. He recorded 90 minutes of him sewing the shirt and posted several before and after photos on Twitter. And that's one of the before and after photos, and you can see that the whites don't even match. That's just the minimum of what's wrong there. A commenter on Kiwi Farms noted the issues with his project. Incorrect type of needle, patches were incompatible with the shirt, not trying to match the colors, not taking measures to prevent frays or shrinkage, not applying patches to the inside of the shirt. Yeah, those are just some of the issues with it. And, like, this looks worse than the shit I did when I was a kid trying to sew. After a few hours of work, Chris declared his effort a masterpiece, because of course he would, and said the classic was worth more because of it. At the time of this statement, he believed he already made the sale for $25,100. On May 4th, after 5 days of work, Chris completed the restoration. He signed it using his trans woman name and celebrated the job by wearing it in public, which he shouldn't have. By 2018, the shirt deteriorated. Chris attended too many games with the shirt on, which I covered that. If you want to see how the shirt looked then, go watch that video. With the shirt in June of last year, the photographs of him wearing it at the event showing the shirt was practically falling apart, and that's because it sat in water for so long, it just made the fabric start to deteriorate. And some of the stitching Chris had attempted to carry out, having split or frayed in places. On the 4th of July, a very special day, he posted on Twitter asking Ralph Lauren's help in either reproducing or restoring the shirt. This did not come to pass, and Chris would still regularly wear the rapidly deteriorating fabric. By this point, it would be easier to just buy a new shirt than attempt to repair it, which is true. Loss. On the 10th of August 2018, Chris revealed in a text message to Teen Troon Squad, which I've covered them before too, that the classic was lost by Barb cleaning his room, which I'm really shocked she would. She's usually not the type to throw away stuff. While he was away at BronyCon, whether Barb's intention was payback for leaving her for the weekend or out of forgetfulness, Chris responded by hitting and humping a pillow effigy representing his mother in front of her. Why would you do that? Why would you do that, Chris? Why would you make a pillow that looks like her and hit it and hump it? I can get the hitting part. That makes me think you might be abusive, but why hump? Why hump, Chris? He would then search for a replacement, which is first seen during the Dimensional Merge announcement videos. And these are some more of the photos, the restored in public, Chris promoting his Patreon, the old shirt, the 4th of July, how it looked like, and a pony card of it. Hey guys, Dylan here, and we have a Patreon guest, Gexon here. And
hello.
We are going to be reading a Quickie article. Today's Quickie article is the attraction sign. And we start out...
One of Chris's most famous blunders of all time.
Oh, yeah. It's something he has humored bringing back before. We start out with this quote from Chris. The only reasonable and inexpensive idea he could have ever fucking thought of. Chris talking in the third person. What? Did he insult himself?
Maybe that was when he was trying to do his, you know what, I hate me too bullshit.
And when he says inexpensive, is he talking about like hiring a prostitute? Is that the alternative? Like it's either you walk around with this sign proving you're retarded or hire a prostitute, which he did choose the latter later, so I guess that is the truth. He eventually did buy a damn hooker.
Didn't that prostitute quit after fucking Chris?
We can't prove it. She just doesn't have on the same website anymore. People have given me shit for saying she retired before. Anyway, I guess I'll read the first part. The attraction sign was used by Chris during his love quest to get the attention of boyfriend-free girls. Incredibly, the sight of a fat, sweaty, smelly man-child soliciting sex with a piece of cardboard has not enticed any of the ladies as a date. An early version ran, I am X-year-old male seeking an 18 to X-year-old single woman. But more information about Chris and demands about his partner soon found their way onto the sign. And this is a great artist representation of the sign and a great Photoshop representation of the sign of Chris Chan at the game place. I guess
using the most famous Chris face.
I guess you can read sign Mark 1.
The original sign, created in 2003 when Chris first started his love quest at the age of 21, is perhaps the most notable and amusing of them all. 21 and single white male, shy, smart, young at heart, computer skilled, humorous, a great thinker and go-getter. Fucking lies.
He says computer skilled, but his websites were terrible. Absolutely terrible.
They were basic and hideous.
Yeah, it's the bare minimum of coding that you learn in high school.
Natural salesperson, another fucking lie. He can't sell anything to anyone. Enjoys good parts of life, meaning not working. Diplomatic, bullshit. Friendly, loves his family. Peaceful, very creative. He's lonely. That's not a lie.
That's not positive either, though.
No. Seeking a cute 18 to 21 single female companion. 18 to 21 years of age, which is redundant. He already said that. Does not already have a boyfriend. Single. Again, redundant.
He keeps repeating single over and over again.
Gosh, it's almost as if he doesn't want somebody with a boyfriend. Perhaps a boyfriend-free girl. Average to slender weight / body type. White. Lives in Charlottesville or Ruckersville area. Does not smoke or drink alcohol. Happy, positive personality. Average to high income and drives a vehicle.
The average to high income and drives a vehicle is way too high of expectations. I don't know. Maybe you're crossing the line with smoking and drinking alcohol, but that last bit is just ridiculous. That makes it sound like you want someone to support you, which he does financially. Yeah. Let's take a look at this first sign. 21 single white male seeking a... Well, I think I know why this sign fucking failed. All the major writing is very tiny and is slanted because of Chris's tard writing. You can hardly even read what he's talking about.
Also, that's a lovely Sonichu on there with his fucking wonky ass eyes.
Oh yeah, and I love that you put it right above a Burger King ad. That's definitely how you'll attract the older women, is with your attraction sign near a Burger King ad.
That.
It's the Burger King Big Kids meals up at when they were giving out shit for the higher paid version of their Happy Meal. It was stupid. I hated that.
It's first generation Pokemon stuff.
Oh yeah, this is early 2000s.
Shit.
Yeah, it's crazy. 2003.
Image of Sonichu's face. If any men read this huge sign, mind your own business. And to all men with girlfriends, except marrieds and blacks, go jump off a cliff. Have a nice day.
He included the and blacks part because he didn't want to be racist. That was his whole point on that.
Even though it just makes him sound significantly more racist. Because one, he's referring to them as blacks, which is one step lower than darkies. And he has to single them out.
Yeah. I love that you put a smiley face at the end.
Right. After telling people to go fuck off and die. Oh, there's a picture of him with his sign in the field.
Yeah, I guess I'll show that before you finish the paragraph. Let's take a look at this terrible quality picture. I wonder who took this. This looks like an older Chris, because he's wearing that stupid little vest, it looks like.
It's like fucking Bigfoot cam quality. And then again, Chris is a fucking Sasquatch, let's be real.
If I had to guess, because of what he's wearing, I think, and because of how fat he is, I think this is after Rollin' and Trollin'. If I had to guess. That's the appearance he's giving here.
It'd be easier to tell if he had that weird off-center goatee that he was rocking.
No, he shaved it before he went back and started trying to act like Chris again to prove to people that he's Chris. I think that's how they got this photo, is when he was running around acting like he's Christian to prove that Liquid wasn't Chris.
Chris had other ideas beyond signs.
Yeah, like throwing rocks at people.
Or his attraction string. But said that newspaper/magazine ads, online dating sites, video dating services, to name a few,
those
they
don't even
cost
exist
money
anymore, do they?
Well, that's bullshit because he wound up putting himself onto like several different dating sites, didn't he?
I'm talking about like the video dating services. Do those exist anymore? Remember like back in the 80s when guys
Fucking AOL instant date.
No, like guys would record themselves and they'd send their thing into this address, their tape, and then they'd get put on a compilation and that would be sent to single females looking.
Oh,
and
fuck,
be like,
you just hit me with like a weird ass nostalgia bomb.
They'd be like, "Hello, my name is Dave and I'm looking for this person and that person and I like this and that and I can do this and that. I hope to be your man." It was weird.
Damn.
I don't even think they do that anymore, so why the fuck is he saying that?
Well, there's no need for that, because now we have shit like Tinder.
Yeah, well, back then we didn't have Tinder, but we had dating sites like OkCupid. The sign in college. Many variations of the sign were produced when Chris was in college, chiefly because Mary Lee Walsh kept confiscating them. During this time, Chris waged war by creating MySpace and Facebook accounts, then printing new signs and plastering them all over campus, which can get you in trouble, only to be torn down by Mary Lee Walsh regardless. Of Mary's efforts, the sign required updating annually. See, that's what's stupid. He has to keep updating the signs, so the signs he hung up, even if they didn't get tore down, would be pointless, because they're outdated now. Since the requisite age of the boyfriend-free girl was variable 18 to whatever Chris was. Well, to be fair, that means that he only has to take down the signs once a year. They won't make it that long. They'll never make it that long.
No, not a chance in hell. But yeah. I'm sure that he would put one up like the week before his birthday, only he'd have to fucking take it down.
Gosh, he's trolled again! The attraction sign shows a truly desperate time in Chris's life, where he advertises virginity in the same way you would advertise selling a card. And this is his Yu-Gi-Oh card. And this is like one of the signs of him breaking the fourth wall, LOL, LOL, XD, where like it's a card inside of a card. Plans for attraction. Pick up and draw. I can't read all that.
Joke here. I think I can read that.
Let me
pick up, not draw, cards from the top of your deck until a female monster is picked up. Special summon that card onto your side of the field. Shuffle all other picked up cards back into your deck. That's fucking stupid.
Thank God you can read that. My eyes just won't let me read that at all.
Oh, I had to lean super close into my fucking computer to see that.
Oh, okay. I'm pretty far back. Like, sometimes if I struggle on a word or something, it's just because
if I was using my desktop, I wouldn't have been able to see that because I use my TV as a monitor.
This is a sign from age 22. Based on its shape, it's most likely meant to be attached to a DS.
One girlfriend, please.
I'm a 22-year-old boy, not male, boy, seeking an 18-blank-year-old boyfriend-free girl. I am lonesome.
And he's got like 1,000 copy-pasted Zap Buds.
And he put a copyright disclaimer down there, too. These Zap Buds are they're Sonichu material copyrighted by Christian. And he could have actually copyrighted Zap Bud if he wanted to, because that's an original idea from him, as far as I'm aware of. But he didn't. He does not have them copyrighted, so that's pointless.
Nope, he just has the word Sonichu copyrighted.
And he sees that meaning all Sonichu material is copyrighted just by that alone. Cover of a pamphlet on attracting girls. Oh no, he made a pamphlet. How to attract an 18-blank-year-old... Who are you writing this to? You're the one that sucks. Did he write this for him to read so he can take his own advice? For the very shy man. I want to know what that fucking pamphlet had on the inside. That's only the cover.
Not for nothing, but that arrowhead is shit. That wouldn't stab anybody.
Sign from age 23. And I guess he put it on this to make it look convincing to people that that's what it looked like. I'm a 23-year-old single male searching for... It's hard to believe I'm the same age as Chris at that point. God. An 18 to 23-year-old female companion who I can love and trust. I mean, if he just put that on a sign, it might work, because he doesn't have all those strict requirements.
Jesus.
He might trick some poor idiot. Miscellaneous paraphernalia used conjunction with the sign. Let's take a look at this. Oh, God. Oh, no, it's his fucking business card. Oh God. It's all of his business. It's the signs and the business cards. I am serious. I want an 18 to 23-year-old boyfriend-free woman. I am so sad, lonely, and single as a 22-ounce bottle of Pepsi.
The fuck does that mean?
I have no fucking clue. I am still I'm still waiting for Cupid's arrow to strike me. I'm very lonely. 21 and seeking. This is terrible. One free girlfriend. Oh, that's his one free girlfriend coupon. God. This is sad. This is beyond sad. Wait.
It's amazing how much he objectifies women in his search, like making a coupon for a girl and stuff like that.
Do you know what I just noticed?
What?
He has the number 22 randomly put here. That's what he put over the sign when he quit being 21, isn't it? He literally just pasted a 22 over it so you wouldn't have to make a new sign.
What would be the best is if the 22's background color didn't even match the sign and it's just like hastily glued on there.
Chris, like, I don't think you realize it's been a whole year of you having the 21 sign. It's probably time to replace it. Don't just slap a new number on it. That sign probably looks gross by now.
I'm sure it'd be covered in McDonald's grease.
I like that Sonichu card, though, because it has rare artwork of Sonichu that I've never seen high-quality version of. The Sonichu on a surfboard.
That weird, lanky Sonichu.
Yeah, it's one of the earliest depictions of Sonichu. It's weird.
Also like the Sonic sprite on there.
Okay, I guess you can go for a hiatus. And do you want to return the sign, too?
Yeah, I'll go down there.
Okay.
Discouraged by Barb, Chris retired the sign proper sometime before August 2009.
I'll read this. During all this, I learned from my mother that the sign made me look retarded, and eventually I did away with the sign.
Yeah, it was the sign that made you look retarded, Chris.
I think on later revisions, he said that he came up to that decision on his own, and that his mom didn't and backed it.
Well, he has to make sure that he comes off as the genius who deserves all the credit and praise. In June 2010, Chris wore a shirt saying, "I enjoy vagina," and an exposed bra saying, "Want woman," over his large guy.
Want woman.
Me want woman, me Chris. A lazy and frank form of the sign. While this display is even less pleasant and more direct than the original attraction signs, his reasoning for each seems to be the same. If he just reveals to boyfriend-free girls what he wants via literal, verbal language, any of them will want to give it to him, regardless of how bizarre, off-putting, and out of touch with their wants and needs that revelation is. This lends even further credence to his ridiculous sense of entitlement, and that he never understood why the sign made him look like a retard in the first place, and he hasn't grown, matured, or learned anything since he stopped using it. A few weeks later, on the 4th of July 2010, that is a terrible time for something to happen with Chris. Chris attempted to attract an unfortunate woman at a local fireworks celebration by wrapping a note around a small rock and throwing it.
I mentioned that earlier.
I said me, Chris, me want woman earlier, but he just went full fucking caveman.
Yeah, he was legit throwing rocks at people.
Oh, I didn't even read ahead. They even call him a caveman here.
Yes, they do. That was a popular thing. It was a popular theory at the time.
Combined with the earlier want woman tactic, this caused some trolls to assume Chris was beginning to devolve into some sort of caveman, implying he was evolved in the first place. Later that same week, Chris was spotted and photographed twice at Fridays after 5 again. In both photographs, he is shown to have placed a small piece of paper between his legs. Exactly what he wrote on it is unknown, but it is reasonable to assume that Chris had reverted to the original style attraction sign once more. Likely because someone told him that children shouldn't be exposed to him in his sports bra. That is fair. On the 16th of July, 2010, Chris again terrorized the poor women of Charlottesville at the Fridays After 5 gathering with a new sign that read, "Friendly and Flirty Man Zone."
That sounds extremely gay. That's something you're going to attract gay men.
It's It's somewhere between gay and rapey.
It sounds like that's the zone for flirty and fun men. Like, it sounds like you're wanting men to come towards you.
He also employed a portable minifan and a hula hoop in what seems to be a misguided attempt to look fun and cool.
I decided I need to be cool with today's youth. I got candy and ice cream, and I'll give it out in my white van.
Oh, hello there, fellow youth. In a February 2012 Facebook status update, Chris mentioned that he plans to wear a sign around his neck that says, "If you like me, tell me."
No one will ever approach him.
No. Whether or not he actually did this was never documented, but knowing Chris, this was certainly not an idle threat.
Comeback. April 2012, Facebook status revealed that Chris planned to go back to his roots in stalking innocent women in public with his sign. And
I've never said this before, but Chris fucking looks like the creepy lunch lady you don't want to touch your food.
Oh god, he kind of does.
In his fucking Tom girl face. He looks like he should be wearing disposable gloves at all times.
Do you see how he made this new attraction sign? That's probably from one of Bob's labelers from like the 1950s.
It looks like a ransom note.
It's one of those like military labelers, and he ran out of letters. Look, M is the at logo. Single is made up of several different letters, including a W and a 7, which is a number, not even a letter. 3s are used for the E's. So either he's doing that to be quirky, or he literally ran out of letters. It's terrible
genuinely
looking.
Looks like a ransom note.
Yeah, it looks like a murderer's. It looks like a murderer's note. This is too great in these queer, grave, desperate times. I am going to start going back to Fashion Square Shopping Center in Charlottesville, Virginia, with my sign, and going into my sweetheart search full on, guns a-blazing. He later revealed he was lying in a baffling attempt to try to troll the trolls, which he has tried to troll the trolls before, so I kind of believe him on that one.
Yeah, he's not good at it, but he's tried it. You want me to take this one?
Yeah. And then I'll conclude it with Chris.
On July 2014, Chris made a new OkCupid account, which resulted in a few new photos of him in full Tom Girl regalia. I shudder. One horrifying picture shows Chris looking 20 years older than he is and brandishing a new sign, made out of Legos, stating, "Hey ladies, I'm single, please ask me out." It is, it is unknown if he uses or intends to use this new sign in public. Physically speaking, his OkCupid profile was a public site.
Chris's connections. Chris' 2014 OkCupid account also revealed the fact that he has finally conceded to raise the minimum age of his sweetheart up to 23, probably having realized that the minimum age of 18 was becoming very inappropriate. However, 23 is still a large disparity when Chris's age when he wrote the sign was 32. And he still absurdly demands his sweetheart to be younger than himself, even though he clearly wants them to serve largely as his mother figure. Hey guys, Dylan here. I got Gexon on again because I owed him a couple videos. We are going to be looking at the Red String of Fate, another Relic of Fail. This one's a lot shorter, so it won't take that long.
No, but I'm sure we're in for a wild ride as always.
I'll read this first little quote. "I've had my worst trip to the mall. I was working with my heart on a red string of fate when, from out of the blue, a jerk-off shattered my heart and ripped up the red string." Which, to be fair, I still think myself that Chris was putting the string up in a position to where people could trip. And that's why the mall security got mad at him. That's my own personal belief.
I would believe that because typically cops wouldn't, well, mall security, wouldn't really have a reason to come and bother you if you're just playing with a string. But if you're like setting it up between things or whatever, like making a tripping hazard, yeah, they're going to take it away from you.
Or throwing it at people and then trying to reel it back in. One or the other is why people got pissed at him.
Yeah, if he's like throwing that paper heart at people's faces.
I guess you can read the first paragraph and then I'll read the second one.
All right. The Red String of Fate was a plot Chris came up with in 2004 to attract a boyfriend-free girl. He probably got it from Excel Saga or some other anime, as the red string is allegedly an important metaphor in Asian courting rituals, similar to the concept of having a soulmate. Emphasis on metaphor. Chris's subtle expression of courtship failed to be appreciated as he took too many artistic liberties with the concept.
Okay, let's take a look at the relic itself, because they actually have the archived version of it. You can see that it has like a little metal hoop on it, and it doesn't appear to be laminated. It looks like it's either laminated and Chris taped the two laminations together, or it's literally just paper that he taped together to make thicker. And I don't know why he even bothered writing on it, because the tape covers up his writing, and I can't read his writing anymore.
That's completely illegible.
Not to mention, he claims to be an artist, yet he can't draw a heart. This looks like a saggy pair of tits and nowhere close to being a heart.
It kind of looks like a suffocating scrotum.
God, Chris, your artistic skills are unchallenged. According to Lucas and Mims, Chris would attach a paper heart to a red string and throw it at women. Okay, I was right. Then pull the string like he was reeling them in. A small red heart had text on it on the outside reading, "Pick me up and bring me to my owner." An ingenious strategy to reel in the ladies.
Quick's diary tells us that Chris came up with the idea around the beginning of August 2004. "I have a new idea," he says in the beginning of that month's entry, "that I am sure will reel in a girlfriend on a fateful red string."
I hate that he teases us like that. Like, he's just writing the diary for himself. Why does he tease it like he's about to shoot up a school? On the 5th of August 2004, a mall security guard took Chris's red string off of him. For over 15 years, Chris had not picked up the idea. There is certain irony, given how much Chris whines about them, that this method of fishing is known as trolling. Is it? Is it trolling? I don't know.
I mean, it's being a nuisance.
The red string, as shown in Excel Saga, noticed that Chris looked like the main character with the string. See, with how he's doing it, with how he's got it wrapped on both fingers, I can see Chris trying to replicate that and put it on 2 chairs. I can see that happening. Because Chris is too lazy to have it tied to his fingers. So either he's inconveniencing the people in the mall he's loitering in, or he's trying to trip people in the mall he's loitering in. Either way, it's not good. So what did you think of the red string of fate?
Oh, it's amazing the things that Chris will do to try and get a boyfriend-free girl.
I think...
Yet showering is not one.
I think this is just one step below throwing rocks at women. But this is like the first indication that Chris is willing to possibly harm someone to try to get a woman, just throw shit at them.
I'm just imagining if Chris went full fucking caveman and just picked up a whole bunch of rocks and wrote "love me" on them and just started pelting random people in public.
This is kind of like the predecessor to the rock, because it's something he throws at people, and it itself is an attraction sign. Yeah, I think I'd call the rock of fate. And if there's a video, if there's an article on that, I will read it eventually. Even though it would literally just be, "This is a rock Chris throws at people," I would read that still. The Guitars of Fail were Chris Chan's custom-painted Guitar Hero controllers that made appearances in several videos. They were not mere game controllers, however. Chris liked to pose with the controllers. For example, in the GameStop Be a Star sweepstakes, which is a contest he actually did enter and won because he cheated by getting people online to vote for him just because he's Chris Chan, as well as in several videos. That's probably a really famous guitar. I think my favorite instance of Chris Chan using the Guitar Hero guitar was against Chris in the Liquid Chris saga, where he pulled out his Guitar Hero guitar and Liquid Chris pulled out an actual guitar, and they actually tried to outdo each other in a song that Chris Chan quote-unquote wrote, and Liquid did it better, and it was hilarious. I loved it. The guitars also made appearances in the comics, for example, when going Jericho on 4 Cent Garbage. I'm gonna click on that and see if we have it's where Chris Chan actually turns into human Chris, and there's sheet music on the screen. I can't wait till we get to that point in the comic reading. On the cover of his mocked up copy of Kristen Weston Chandler Adult Chronicles, let me see what that looks like. Oh yeah, it is. It's on his back, and that's not how it should look like on his back at all. And Sonichu and Rosichu are just floating there. I didn't really remember that one, even though I'm pretty sure it was already in the comics that we read, but whatever. He appeared to think that it counted as an actual instrument and gave him skill to really play guitar. Now, this is something that a lot of kids thought back in elementary school and middle school. They thought they played Guitar Hero really well, then they were like masters and they could play a real guitar. That's not how it works. A real guitar takes years to master. I'm sure if you did a couple online courses, maybe you could get the hang of it, but it takes a while to actually be decent at guitar. And not to mention that Chris Chan actually fucking sucked at Guitar Hero. He wasn't even that good at it. I've seen him play it. He's just not even that impressive at the game that he's obsessed with. Fun fact, he failed using the guitar strap. Yes, he did. After the 10th of January 2014 house fire, it is currently unknown if the guitars of Fail survived the blaze, but it is unlikely. And then Chris Chan will pull the fucking mangled corpse of the guitar and sell it on eBay. Just you wait. If he finds that burnt guitar, he will sell it. Guitar through the ages. Chris made Bobby Kotick a very happy man, and I hope I said that name right. If not, oh well. If the October 2010 room pictures were clear, Chris had at least 5 guitars of Fail. That's a lot of Guitar Hero controllers. Why would you even need that many? I had maybe 3, but that's because my siblings wanted to play with me. I don't know why you would need that many. The Guitar Hero 5 version, which Chris never managed to mod to the extreme, meaning that this is a vanilla controller. The Guitar Hero 3 Les Paul version, and someone's gonna say that I fucked that name up, but oh well, with Sonichu paint job. Guitar Hero 1 and 2 Gibson SG version with turquoise and American flag stripes and tons of stickers, and a mostly black one. Wow, that one's impressive. You are the Clyde of this line of like Pinky, Inky, and Clyde. You are the Clyde. Lastly, the Guitar Hero Warriors of Rock version, seen in the Victory Rock Out video, and I might have that play either at the beginning or the end of this video, who knows. In August 2011, Chris got this from a garage sale bundled with an unspecified game. It's not clear why Chris would buy more than one controller, as the controllers were mostly compatible with the newer games, and he obviously had no friends to play with. And that is a true thing, that's not just them bullying. Chris Chan got every achievement on Little Big Planet except for play with a friend. That's literally what happened. He doesn't have any friends. Why he kept collecting more of them after Guitar Hero went out on a hiatus is anyone's guess. But then again, common sense has never had much to do with his video game purchasing decisions. And yes, Chris Chan actually went out and bought DLC for games he didn't own. He would buy DLC for games he didn't own because he wanted to show that he supported Sony. So he would just buy a bunch of shit. And this is one of the reasons why I tell people not to give him money. He will waste your money. He actually still, to this day, buys DLC for games he doesn't own in the sad attempts to support Sony. I have no idea why he thinks this is gonna help, but he does it. Or any of his purchasing decisions, really. And yeah, that's why yet again I say don't help Chris. Don't give him money. He will just buy a bunch of shit he doesn't need. He may have had even more of them, as he sold another Guitar Hero 3 Les Paul on eBay in September 2009. He also had a customized Rock Band Stratocaster known as Meatwad's Shredwad. Now, I actually did look at this one before. Me and Jill looked at it in a different Chris Chan thing that we did. I'm pretty sure that was one of the ones that he sold on eBay. It appeared in a video that he recorded in October 2009. Chris hooked this guitar on eBay around the same time. Yeah, that's what I thought. Effectively selling the product identical to another cartoonist's intellectual property, meaning that he technically sold a bootleg. So Chris Chan committed a crime there. Appearances. The guitar appeared in the PS3 history level video. In power, the half-naked Chris lifts above his head in a show of strength before miming and playing it, mainly wiggling his fingers and screeching, like the autist he is. In Chris's music video for Ivy, he used the guitar to extensively rock out for her. In the video, it appears that Chris has further decorated the guitar since it was first introduced in October 2008. It appeared again when Chris cosplays as Grimace, so yeah, that's a good one. Let me see if they have a picture of that. Hopefully that links to the right thing right away, so then we can actually see that abomination of, is it that video? Is that video it? Yeah, there we go. That's Chris Chan as Grimace. Just take a look at that wonderful thing. He occasionally mimes out the guitar riffs in his boyfriend video. And that was all the instances of him playing the guitar. Now we are going to be looking at some of Chris Chan's guitars and look at some of the photos of him with it. We have the red, white, and blue one, the one that's painted blue and has a bunch of Sonichu characters on it. You can see Chris Chan up there orgasming while humping the air and playing his guitar. Black Sonichu, Angelica, all the Sonichus. These are actually the artwork that was used on the original Pokemon cards. These are some of the earliest Sonichu art that Chris Chan ever drew. And you can see he even put himself on the key buttons, which I think that would make it harder to play because now you don't know which color is which, but whatever. I guess he wanted the extra challenge. There's actually a picture of the bar of it. Oh, and it starts with Chris Chan as Chris Chan, and he transforms into Chris Chan Sonichu. I mean, that's kind of clever, but it's really fucking pathetic too. And then the top of it has Sonichu written on it, because of course it does. And this is Chris Chan holding the guitar out at the camera. You can also get a good glimpse of Chris's room. I want that plush that he has. Yeah, it's just the most famous of all of them. And then we have these pictures of Chris Chan, our true and honest hero, playing his guitar, looking intensely at the ground. We have him rocking out, just not even actually playing the game, just sitting there pressing the buttons. And then finally, we have the photo of him lifting the guitar over his head, shredding. He's really having fun there.
Yeah, we got victory! I won with the victory! Victory on our dance, everybody's! Everybody gotta get their kid! Bam! 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 Now kick your hands in your damn everybody's! Whee! Everybody's are really, really stupid! Jokes are really, really stupid! Hey, you bullies, really, really stupid! Hey, rock is stupid, you stupid, you stupid, you stupid, 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 you stupid, stupid, stupid!
Hey guys, Dylan here, and today we are doing another quickie discussion. Today's quickie discussion is on the Eschew Ball. An Eschew Ball is a very special type of Pokeball used to capture and storage of electric hedgehog type Pokemon. They receive very little mention in canon, as few of the Sonichus and Rosachus are ever stored in balls. The best terminology to use, I'm sure Chris Chan loves it. In the comic, an Eschew Ball appears in Sonichu 0, and Chris claimed that Sonichu and Rosachu can be stored in them in the plot of his Family Guy episode. Then I break out my 2 Eschew Balls, toss them, and release Sonichu and Rosachu for more greetings. He also mentioned them in his phone call with Alec Benson Leary, the guy who made Asperchew. The Eschew Balls are often confused with the Sonichu Balls, which hold some relevance to the plot, have a completely different function, and are colored differently. Eschew Balls are yellow and light blue. Sonichu Balls have a solid color and are basically the Chaos Emeralds, and that's why they would be called Chaotic Crystals later. As the electric hedgehog Pokemon act more like humans than Pokemon, it is not surprising that the Eschew Balls do not feature in Sonichu. Oddly enough, Blaze Bob Sonichu and Chloe Rosechu were kept in ordinary Pokeballs. The one time Chris Chan could have practically used something from his ideas and he chose not to. Total Chris Chan move. In real life,
Chris slapped together a replica of the Eschew ball using a Pokeball from Burger King and topped it with Crayola Model Magic. Burger King, check. Crayola Model Magic, check. Total Chris Chan move, although he later lost a piece from it. That is also a Chris Chan move. He fashioned a new one in November 2017. He also claims to have drawn an Eschew ball on the back of his Sonichu medallion. This is probably what the blue blob to the right of his signature was, and I always wondered what was up with that, so I'm glad I got an answer. In 2018, Chris claimed to have received a physical Eschew ball from Quickville and showed it to Count Dankula. That's after the whole merge shit. In 2019, Chris bought a Pokeball Plus for $47 and painted to resemble an Eschew ball. Chris then tweeted pictures showing that he bought 5 more Pokeball Pluses so he could have a full team of 6 Pokemon on his belt and reap in more in-game rewards. Chris then justified his purchase by saying he bought them pre-owned, and a fan gave him the money, which still doesn't justify anything, and it's still a waste of money. Money that he could have used for bills or food. Gallery, we see Chris Chan dressed as Chris Chan from the comic books holding an Eschew ball. We see his medallion with the fucked up squiggle on the back. We see drawings from the comics. We see a Lego Eschew ball Chris made. We see a Pokemon card, a Yu-Gi-Oh card, some video game skins, some real life replicas, and finally we see that Chris gave away one of his expensive Pokeballs at BronyCon to a troll, or as he calls it, a Gal Pal. And that was everything you need to know about the Eschew ball. Hopefully you guys learned a lot today about this. By the way, the Eschew ball is what's on the Quickie logo. That's one more tip, free of charge. I didn't mention that in the article. I thought I'd mention it right now.
Hello everybody, Dylan here. Now today we're going to be doing yet again another Relic of Fail. Today's Relic of Fail is Chris Chan's pedo glasses. Now, we start with a quote from Chris Chan saying, "My frames are good. They look good on me. And they are the best fit for my lenses anyway." This is Chris in defense of his shitty glasses. Now, Chris Chan's pedo glasses is the colloquial name for Chris Chan's classic spectacles, the appearance of which have been described as recalling some form of sexual deviance, such as a pedo fork. Now, I'm gonna open this image, and it is a pic that Chris Chan drew with Sonichu and Rosachu, and Sonichu's thinking, "I think I picked the wrong frames." Yes, you did. They're hideous, Sonichu. And Rosachu said, "My frames make me look very hot," which she is wrong. They do not. Glasses. Chris Chan began wearing glasses on the 2nd of February 1997 while he was in high school because of his nearsightedness. He was diagnosed by his half-brother David Chandler. Not long thereafter, he had an altercation with the slow-in-the-mind, Chris Chan's term for retards or mentally handicapped people, on the short bus, and the glasses were knocked off his face and possibly broken, depending on his version of the story. Now, when Chris Chan recalls any event, he'll say it in different ways, like he'll make up multiple different ways to make himself sound better or to make himself sound more intelligent, so you can never really trust Chris Chan's stories. Usually it's the version of the story that he'll tell a sweetheart that is the closest to the real version, and he'll lie to other internet people. The classic frames, which Chris Chan was wearing at the time of his discovery, were double bridged to reduce the damage induced by his fits of tarred rage, which is something he actually does. He'll flip out and start smashing stuff, and somewhat oversized. Their roundness emphasizing Chris's pudgy face and generally rotund form. He got them at Walmart. The earpieces were connected by a string attached that no one else under 60 would use. I've never actually encountered anybody that had glasses that connected with strings. I guess people get those because you don't want to lose them, so rather than putting them in a case, you can just leave them around your neck. It looks weird, and I think that will just get them more scratched up, but I guess it's whatever. Often, these types of frames and lenses are among the few cheap pairs available by default to patients if they want to utilize their Social Security Disability Insurance, a very long title, on vision benefits. Of course, many tend to spend some cash on a much better pair of frames, but Chris Chan has better things to buy, like Transformers and Legos. That is usually what he will be spending your hard-earned money on if you are stupid enough to give it to him. Chris thought the glasses looked good on him, calling them respectable frames. He also justified them with the argument that they were the best fit for the lenses anyway, as the lenses could be ground to fit any frames he desired. Nevertheless, Chris Chan has always been somewhat self-conscious about his glasses. He worried that his needed to see from far distance glasses made it difficult for women to notice his handsome face. Yes, that's what's been holding you back this whole time, Chris. Your glasses. If you take them off, you'll look amazing. He does not wear them in his dating profile photos. Yes, that's true. We've looked at his dating profiles in separate videos. While his little Big Planet avatar wears glasses, Comic Chris does not. He actually did wear glasses in the comics a couple times. He wore glasses when they went back in time to his high school in the past. So he does wear glasses occasionally in the comics. So that's not 100% true. In a video diatribe against the trolls, he defensively stammered, "I am only nearsighted. I do wear glasses. Take it or leave it, losers." Oh, great. He's already insulting people. It helps me see better, see more detail, and more clear vision. Yes, that's what glasses do, Chris, than any of you knuckleheads can put together. Oh, trying to fucking put your disability as like a plus against people who can already see things? That's fucking dumb. Out of your own ego that you so richly consume of. That doesn't make any fucking sense, Chris. None of that made any sense, but whatever. You can just fucking think whatever you want to. In a couple of videos posted in October 2010, it appeared that Chris had wrapped tape over the bridge of his glasses. The tape was later replaced by a permanent solution in the form of a nose piece crafted with Crayola fucking model magic. How exactly his frames broke in the first place is unknown. The moving forward video shows that Chris Chan puts his glasses in his back pocket though, which is a bad idea. That's a terrible idea. Get a case for them. You don't need a necklace, you don't need anything else. It's get a glasses case. It's very easy to keep track of and you won't break them. So it's not entirely unlikely that he simply forgot they were in his back pocket and sat on them. That does sound like something Chris would do. The Tom Girl pictures indicate that by April of 2011, he had gotten a new pair, just as cheap as the first ones, doing the exact same thing all over again. Alas, these glasses, which Chris described as 324 RX lens glasses, were broken by the jerk-offs. Of course, while Chris was resisting arrest on October 28, 2011. Amazingly, in You're Always Pretty, leaked in February 2012, Barb is seen wearing Chris Chan's old pedo glasses, clearly identifiable by the blue Crayola model magic bridge. Hoarders gotta hoard. Yes, his mom wouldn't allow him to just throw away his glasses, so she kept them. So apparently she still has them. In May of 2012, a Facebook profile pic showed that Chris Chan had replaced the pedo glasses with a relatively normal pair. Unfortunately, this improvement was offset by him being a creepy Tom girl with awful hair. Yeah, this is when he started becoming trans, quote unquote. He seems to have managed to hold onto his pair into 2015. On the special occasions, though, like gay pride festivals and assault, he sports a pair of plastic My Little Pony goggles, and they look fucking hideous. So hopefully that will be in the photos at the end. No, oh yeah, they are. Okay, I'll look at them then. Dramatic glasses removal. Chris Chan has been known to empathically remove his glasses from his face in a dramatic effect in his videos, like an anime character, often putting them on so he can rip them off again, like a man-child version of David Corso. I don't fucking know who that is. Don't get on to me for fucking up the name if I did. For a useful example and context, in his video from May 27, 2010, he removes his glasses, puts them back on, and removes them again within the space of 32 seconds. Why would you do that, Chris? That doesn't help. That doesn't help you at all. Why would you remove them every few seconds? That's not dramatic. For the record, throwing down and removing a pair of glasses in the manner Chris does is an excellent way to damage them, which is probably how his glasses keep breaking. In various videos, Chris Chan also appears to take off his glasses and throw them to the floor. This was practically common during his feud with Liquid Chris, when the dispute over the identity had him especially wound up. See here and here for examples. And now we're gonna look at some of Chris Chan's glasses pictures. This is his early appearance with glasses on. You can actually see the wall of originals behind him. You got that fucking thick bridge in the middle and a little indicator thing that that's him, and a very early attempt at drawing a Sonic logo, and it looks fucking hideous. You've got this drawing of Chris Chan. This is a picture of Chris Chan after he taped the glasses. You can see the tape in the middle, very unconvincingly trying to hide that they are broken. And then finally you can see the blue bridged ones with the Crayola Model Magic in the middle. And we can see right here, these are the new glasses that he got, which still look like shit, but him being a creepy old lady. And then finally we've got his mom here eating a hamburger, wearing the glasses. You can see the blue in the middle. Oh, no. One more I want to show you. I almost forgot. And this is Chris Chan's My Little Pony glasses, because he thinks he's gonna get women looking like this. Hello everybody, Dylan here. Now today we're going to be looking at yet again another Relic of Fail. Today's Relic of Fail are the anime wings. The anime wings are a pair of wings that Chris Chan got at a Mid-Atlantic anime convention. They clip onto his hair, and this accessory is usually worn by women, especially otaku fangirls. Now, Chris Chan never really understood that men shouldn't do certain things that women do. They shouldn't wear skirts, they shouldn't wear bras. He never really understood this. And this is what would lead to Chris Chan becoming a cross-dresser, then a tomgirl, then later on coming out as trans. So, this is just a little indicator of Chris Chan's femininity. Chris Chan's pair somehow turned real when he transforms into Super Chris Chan Sonichu, if he transforms while wearing them. This gives Chris Chan even more godlike abilities, granting him the power to fly. The wings first appeared in sub-episode 4, and are promptly knocked off his head at the beginning of sub-episode 5, where they are destroyed, lost forever, forgotten. Who knows, because Chris Chan just forgot about them and never really used them ever again. That's just typical of Chris Chan. He'll introduce a concept, make it sound really important, and then just forget it. Like the Ancient Prophecy, how the Ancient Prophecy really isn't addressed anymore, and it's just a plot coupon to make the story move forward. Either way, Chris Chan Sonichu has been shown to be perfectly capable of flying without them, probably because it's easier to draw. The wings are one of several personal fetishes, along with the medallion and the amethyst ring, which he hopes will allow him to magically transform into something other than himself. To date, none have done the trick. Super Chris Chan Sonichu. With the ancient powers, Chris Chan transforms into Super Chris Chan Sonichu if the anime wings are on top of his head. They appear to be similar to Angelica Rosachu's, as the transformation would make him super and thus more powerful than his original form. He'd be wise to use this to his advantage in future comics, but alas, this is completely forgotten by Chris. Just like the plot of Sonichu. Honestly, what happened to Metal Sonichu? That's a good point. What the fuck did happen to Metal Sonichu? What's funny is Chris Chan actually does have plans for Metal Sonichu, and he will be coming back in later comics if Chris ever finishes them. Another note to be made is that Chris Chan cannot come up with original ideas, so this had to be ripped from something else. Due to his influence with Nintendo, he most likely got the super part from the name of Super Nintendo, and many of the SNES titles included super in their names. As for the actual wings part, it's probably stolen from Super Mario Bros. Koopa Paratroopas, or the wing cap from Super Mario 64, or from some anime.
Anyway, I'm playing my music from my Nintendo DS MP3 player, and I'm wearing a pair of anime wings I got from an anime convention I went to recently. I like these wings I found I got at the anime convention. I feel the level up, like in an RPG game. Electric Hedgehog power. Whoosh, 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 blah, whooshy. Well, what's this? I'm having an upgrade? Huh, my powers have given me the ability to fly with my wings attached to my head. It's like an add-on. That's optional. Must have been done with my ancient powers. So awesome I can fly now. Huh.
Hello everybody, Dylan here. Now today we're going to be reading yet again another quickie article. Today's quickie article is The Heart Torch of Fail. I've got True Blue and Jazz with me, and we are going to be reading this. The Heart Torch of Fail. The exact significance of the Heart Torch is unknown. Constructed from pixel blocks, it may represent Chris's resolve to persevere in his love quest in spite of the setbacks. In other words, Chris is carrying a torch for his hypothetical sweetheart, i.e. holding out hope that he will one day find her, despite mounting evidence to the contrary.
The torch resembles a candelabra, with a long white column on a red base. At the top is a flaming heart with a red, white, and blue striped branch on either side, which strangely, if you look at it in the artwork and stuff, looks like his shirt.
His favorite
Coincidence? I think not. And the pattern of his favorite shirt, yep. This is quite possibly the least offensive artwork Chris has ever produced, I have to agree.
It is.
If only because yeah, I know, it's an abstract sculpture. You can't exactly tell him that it's not what a real heart torch is supposed to look like.
Because a real one doesn't exist.
Not anymore.
The torch is perhaps related to a rod associated with Sailor Megtoon, ooh my, getting some Fudas in there, who was a warrior of Heart's Light. Her staff was red, topped with a yellow star and the letter M. Since the heart torch was designed first, maybe this was meant to be a counterpart.
The heart torch was presumably destroyed in the 14 Branchland court fire. This is when Chris Chan's house caught on fire due to him fucking closing his door on a fucking coffee maker plug, and everything went ablaze and it melted apparently. In Sonichu 4, Chris depicts the heart torch as one of the items he brought with him to the Malwart region. Chris's records of this real-life encounter with the WM manager mention that he had been building things with pixel blocks while he was at Walmart, so he may have built the heart torch there.
What a creative young man.
And let's take a look at the real heart torch real quick before we go on. What do you guys say about this?
That's not bad, I have to say.
It's a very simplistic looking thing to begin with, but it's not god awful. I don't see the point of pixel blocks.
The colors are still awful though.
Pixel blocks are just shitty Legos, aren't they? So it looks like.
Yeah.
But the shade of red, white, and blue, and like the way it's designed just looks really awesome.
To give him credit though, at least it wasn't made out of Crayola magic clay.
I mean, maybe then it wouldn't have fucking burnt. But anyway, here you go, Jazz.
Alright, so appearance in Sonichu number 4. After defeating B Manager and Married Senior Comic, Chris is confronted by the WM Manager. Chris foolishly takes on the powerful cyborg in his human form, and of course, like always, is quickly overwhelmed.
Just as Chris begins to give up hope, he receives a vision of his ancestor, the ancient leader of the Cherokee clan, who suggests that Chris use the heart torch to win the battle.
Even though that's so fucking vague, and I doubt the fucking Cherokees would have the ability. Why didn't the Cherokee guy just fucking make him a sister? Like, why do you have to use the heart torch? I guess I'm looking too into it.
Well, Chris argues that the heart torch is only a pixel block construct, which it is. And
but he already used a pixel block fucking substitute in that same comic. Like, he made a fucking substitute to take the hit for him out of pixel blocks, so that doesn't even make any sense in his own fucking logic.
This is Chris Chan logic we speak of.
In other words, not logic at all.
Yeah.
And the Cherokean explains that the Sonichu medallion would impart special powers to the heart torch and enable Chris to summon his dream sibling, which isn't creepy at all. Recognizing this as a reference to the Yu-Gi-Oh card Chris drew years earlier, Chris follows his advice, escaping the manager just long enough to grab the torch and activate it with his powers.
After a burst of energy, the torch disappears, leaving Crystal, now given physical form, possessing power similar to Chris, almost identical to Chris, but she's weaker because she's a woman. Chris isn't sexist. Yeah. The two defeat the WM manager, and Crystal begins a new life in Quickville, but she's completely fucking pointless because he literally introduces Megan in the next comic, and Megan does all the same shit as Crystal, making her pointless. But most likely shopping, giving blowjobs for crack.
Since the heart torch has not been seen since Crystal's materialization, it may be that the torch itself transformed into Crystal, or it ceased to exist after having accomplished its sole function. Of note, the concept of a heart torch has obvious romantic implications, even though it apparently summons Chris's twin sister.
I
This is a
think
very weird,
personally,
unsolved mystery.
because Chris read so much of the Archie comics, I think that this was to rip off the fucking Ring of Acorns. Because the Ring of Acorns, if you touch it, it also grants your heart's wish. And it did the same for Amy Rose. Like, it transformed her into a teenager. That's the one thing she wanted. So this is very similar to that, and I'm pretty sure he ripped it off like he does everything.
Yeah.
So in the end, this artifact is one of the lost artifacts. You can no longer see it. It's completely destroyed. That means he can't sell it on eBay unless he finds his burnt corpse somewhere in his house and decides to mail you the fucking puddle.
God.
I guess it's a heart torch, and I go, heart torch, glow! Boom, 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 the beam, blue lights around me, boom, 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 and then right behind me, boom, 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 I get cloned, boom, 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 with my female sister, my female clone, boom, 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 which would be considered my sister, boom, 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 boom. Ah, wow. Huh. Well, fancy seeing you in the flesh, Christopher, my brother. Even though we're clones, we're still like siblings. And then a little while later, while I was drinking some soda from my Target cup, that is a soft drink cup. And the straw was red, too. Go figure the Target colors. I mean, guitar. You know what I mean.
Hey guys, Dylan here, and today we are doing a quickie discussion. Today's quickie discussion is a rather short one, but it's one that I feel I need to cover because it is another video in my series of fail, which is a bunch of things that Chris Chan does that are considered to be items of fail or instances of fail or whatever you may call them. It'll go in the playlist anyway. Apparently, even though this is a fictional item, it still counts in the items of fail. I don't really understand how that works, but we'll just go with it. This is the oversized drinking straw of fail. The oversized drinking straw of fail was introduced in sub-episode 7 of Sonichu 4, wherein Chris sucked on a beverage whilst evading jerk-offs, which is a normal thing for Chris even today. Numerous trolls and Encyclopedia Dramatica pointed out that the clumsy artwork made it look like Chris was filleting a big fat phallus, playing on his deeply rooted fear of becoming a homo, which, in case you guys didn't know, Chris Chan would look at porn to keep him straight because he was afraid of being tempted to become gay. In the version posted on the Wikipedia, Chris has edited the oversized drinking straw look slightly less retarded, but it really doesn't work. I don't know if they'll go in depth about it, but I'm gonna say my complaints here. Chris's mouth is still about the same size, so it still looks really, really weird, and now it looks even weirder because it looks like the straw is stabbing into his mouth, or it looks like he has a really long tongue that's going deep down into the can. And if we ignore the tongue altogether, he has no teeth or really fat lips. And if we ignore all of that and just go completely dumb, we see that there's a painting behind Chris that looks completely ridiculous. And I don't like it at all. It's just scribbles on the wall. That's lazy. Now, one thing that Chris felt like he really needed to do is he added little dots on top of it, like to make it look like a cup, and then added cola on the side. So very, very weird change. He didn't even bother like whiting out the entire cup. It's still partially red where you can see what it originally looked like. So I don't even know why Chris bothered with that. Like, I don't think the cup was the problem, Chris. It's worth noting that even the new and improved drinking straw is wider than any of Cartoon Chris's fingers or thumbs, which is true. I didn't even notice that. That is a fat straw regardless. And the part above the bin, for some reason, is narrower than the part below. Also, given the nature of Chris's terrible artwork, it is hard to determine which of the following is correct about his new mouth. Is it wide open, which is what I thought a second ago? If that's the case, it would be impossible to drink in that manner depicted, which is what I was saying too, unless it's like a really long tongue. Unless you got a vacuum of lungs like Kirby. The drinker's lips must form an airtight seal around a straw in order to draw liquid up through it, explaining how a straw works. Number 2, he has drawn himself with massive niggo lips, which is the term that Chris Chan used for describing African Americans. Very politically correct of him. Chris's lips may have simply been helium balloon to an enormous size, giving him the impression that he's wearing Maybelline. Hilarious. Whatever the truth may be, Chris cannot even correct any of his mistakes without finding some other way to screw him up in the process. Now there is an art gallery here. I only had to blur one image, which was literally them replacing it with a penis. So we're gonna look at all the other ones before we end this. We have Chris Chan and Sonichu drinking out of the retconned cup with the lid, and they are both sharing it with the massive straws with soda leaking out. We have this wonderful MS Paint Chris, which somehow the painting looks pretty accurate to the one that Chris did. The straw is now as big as his head. Wonderful artwork. We have this one where the straw is even bigger. Sonichu's giving me a weird face and the cup says Slurp. We have this one where the straw is so massive that it is either clipping into the background or Chris is vomiting and has lost a tooth and it is ripping into his head. He sheds a single tear knowing that his mouth will never be the same again. There is no cup. It literally is a cylinder to which he holds upon. Very, very weird drawing. This one is Yellow Tooth Chris biting the straw. We cannot see the cup. This is Asperchu drinking from the straw, which I think that looks more like the retcon straw a little bit, but I can see where he was going. This is a hyper-realistic depiction of it. You can see the acne on Chris's face, you can see his accurate proportions, and you can see how ridiculous Chris's straw originally would have looked if he actually was drinking that, which is the main thing people point out, is that this is a depiction of a real event, even though it's like fabricated and has magical hedgehogs in it. It's still supposed to be a real event, and it would be funny to see Chris drink out of a straw that fat. This is a poorly done, sketchy, fucking terrible abomination. This is a very creative artist rendition of it. I don't know what the cup says. Maybe it says cop. I have no idea. Maybe lop. Who knows? This is a Fanta can with a cap on top of it, and that looks more like a funnel than a straw, but very accurate. They gave Chris's acne. And then this is a famous artist depiction of Chris Chan. He is devouring his soda, and this will probably be in my nightmares now. Thank you. Hey everyone, Dylan here. Now today we are reading a quickie article. Today's quickie article will be the start of a new series, and that series is Where Does Chris Chan's Money Go? Now, the things that we will be covering in this series are things that Chris Chan wastes his money on. This is either money that people donate to him, or money that he gets from his monthly tugboat, meaning money that the government gives to him. Today's thing that we will be covering is Axe body spray. After using Axe body spray, I felt scentily delicious and confident. Chris and Sonichu too. That was already covered in one of the comics that we reviewed. Go check that series out if you haven't already. For the longest time, Axe has been advertised and meant for straight men to attract women. It was certainly not meant to attract other dudes. Chris, proud straight male Axe user. He can't say that anymore. Axe, also known as links to our British and Aussie Christorians pronounced Axe by Chris, is a brand of body spray and deodorant that Chris douses himself in. The much advertised Axe effect, whereby many boyfriend-free girls flock to the user of Axe, hasn't worked much for Chris, as he admits. His comics also seem to suggest that he is under the impression that using Axe body spray is a suitable substitute for bathing. He sprayed some proximity before his date with Emily in lieu of showering. However, in his edited version of the ED Chris Chan page, he wrote that he employed good cleaning practices of daily showers with soap, shampoo, water, and sometimes natural body odors. I don't agree with that. I think Chris Chan was lying in the attempts to impress people on ED. I think that he was being honest before when he said that he didn't bathe and he used Axe. That seems more honest. And this photo says 0% of the time works every time. Hilarious. Axe and the homos. In the beginning of May 2009, Chris was informed that Axe is very popular among men of a certain demographic. The alarming news that instead of attracting ladies, wearing Axe may lead to getting rogered from behind in a dark alleyway led Chris to record 2 videos demanding the Unilever state clearly on the packaging that Axe is for straight people only. I doubt that that's true. And that the homos heed his call and stay off our Axe, you homos. He also commented in the I am the true original CWCki, which is stupid because he's already CWC, doesn't need to add another C there, that Axe is only for the straight man. And in the mailbox he wrote, as portrayed in all their commercial, Axe is for straight men to help them get and keep their woman. Now, PlayStation Network for free, download the new Smooth Jarvis theme, where it further proves that Axe is for everyday straight man. And go pits to chest with the Axe brand deodorants as well, available in most retail stores. Chris's belief that a Forbes 500 company would take advice from a fat, balding man-child and be blatantly homophobic on the packaging of one of its most popular products speaks volumes on Chris's warped views on reality. In the comics, Chris shills for Axe in a full-page ad in Sonichu number 2. Infamously, Rosachu asks Sonichu if he's bathed, but Sonichu replies that he used Orion body spray. Also, one of the samurai pizza bots is called Axe Armor, possibly in reference to Axe Armor range. Now we see Chris Chan's ad right here. I'll get it zoomed in so you can see how terrible it looks. Just typical shit. He even puts a copyright disclaimer down below. And let's move on down. Current choice of deodorant. Chris switched to Secret Outlast, a brand marketed to women during the Tom Girl saga, so he might not even use Axe anymore. Here's a Billy Mays version made to parody Chris Chan's stupidity, and it says, "Fucks Axe, it's gay. Seriously? Nice cock, and thanks," and it shows penises. I will have to censor that out when I put this video up. And then we have another one where Chris promotes his gay products, and yet again it will have to be more censoring because that's Chris Chan getting his dick sucked by another Chris Chan. And it says, after using Axe body spray, I had a colossal gay feeling and confidence. Seriously. And then we have an Axe ad added to the Wikipedia by slanderous trolls. Let's take a look at that. It's not just for attracting ladies anymore. And it shows a model next to Axe body spray. And then finally we have another Axe ad. Let's see what that is. It's here, boys. New flaming fruit scent. Just trying to get Chris to think that Axe was for gay people. And yeah, that was Axe body spray.
Good day. I wish to make an announcement upon the side note, aside from my usual work. I would like to make a claim, make it obvious of, to the creators of my favorite brand of body spray, Axe. Apparently, it has come to my attention that a bunch of people of the wrong orientation are using the Axe brand. By which I mean particularly the homosexuals. Thusly, a stereotype has been made. Has been made apparently. You'd be gay if you wore it. That's so stupid. It's not. I mean, it's not true. I mean, I'm straight, and I have been using Axe for years. I'm a proud user of Axe. Because originally, as it was originally sent for, and I quote, effective deodorant protection designed to seduce the ladies. And then later, when they expanded to the shower gel, they continued with that, saying, let's see, hydrate your skin, leaving it so pure that she'll think she's the first to touch it. And then later again in shampoo, it says here, get girl-approved hair, wash, attract, repeat. Even though the comments sound sexist, as I have learned on their page on Wikipedia, I still feel that it is a big misuse and complete immoral act that the homosexuals take use of the Axe brand, which is dimensionally and originally oriented towards the straight people. I mean, men attract ladies. It means they're straight. They want to attract the ladies. They're straight. Like, Okay, that didn't come out right. But my point is, anyway, Axe is more meant for straight people. Straight men who wish to attract the ladies. Straight men who wish to attract the ladies. And I have been the proud user of Axe throughout the many variations. More to come and more out there to market, I'm sure, other than the body spray, the shower gel, and the shampoo. In any case, Axe was originally meant for, and should remain, only for the straight men who wish to attract the women. It is not meant for a homosexual dude to attract another homosexual dude. It ticks me off. It really does. So, I hope that Unilever, the company who creates the Axe products, see this video on the YouTube, and also I would like them to, I would be sound like some kind of bad person if I tell them to not sell it to the homosexuals, but it should be more obvious in the package that it is meant for straight people. And also, I would like to make the following statement to all homosexuals who dare use it. You homosexuals, stay off of our apps. Peace out.
Hey guys, Dylan here, and today we're doing a quickie discussion. Today's quickie discussion is on butt garments. And with a title like that, you know we are in for something good. This article is rated M for mature and honest content, and butt garments is a quickism for diapers, which are used to prevent dirty crap briefs, which I haven't covered that article yet. If you want me to, comment that down below. Or fecal leakage, where one unintentionally shits themselves. He most likely calls them butt garments to avoid the embarrassment of wearing diapers, which he did say that diapers were for babies and he didn't want to be seen as a baby, so that's probably why he did that, despite the fact that he desperately needs them, which, in case you didn't know, Chris Chan was and probably still is shitting himself. Chris hated the idea of wearing diapers and made multiple attempts to throw out the diapers before Barb caught on and hid them away in her room, which I doubt they are still there now. Discovery: on April 16, 2009, images of Chris Chan in diapers leaked with a special shout out to Spaz from #Sonichu. Chris later stated that in ECV0095 that the butt garments were sent to him by a troll. According to Ivy's Ghost, Barbara mistook them for samples of adult diapers sent to Chris by his doctor, who had been trying to convince Chris to start wearing them, which is only a situation that Chris Chan could find himself in. After Ivy found out that Chris was cheating on her with Vanessa Hudgens, which if you want to know more about that, check out that video, because I don't have enough time to explain who Vanessa Hudgens is and why Chris Chan thought he was dating her, one of her friends suggested that he take the photos below to apologize to Ivy. The front reads "too hot for collection," which makes no sense. In case you didn't want to stare at them for too long, this appears to have been the last time they were ever mentioned. Presumably, they are, or possibly were, still in Barbara's bedroom, which I doubt they are after the house fire, unless she hoarded the burnt remains of it. And there is a gallery, but I'm not going to cover that because I feel like YouTube will get me in trouble.
Anyway, so to get to the point, fine. I'm good. I'm gay. I said it. So there. I said it. Yep. I'm gay. Okay. Yep. So, did I really come out of the closet there? It just depends on y'all, how y'all understand it. Peace.
Hello everybody, Dylan here. Now today we're going to be looking at another Relic of Fail. Today's Relic of Fail is the Sailor Moon poster of Fail. Coerced into saying that he was gay on YouTube, Kristen Weston Chandler employed several nonverbal clues to signal to his fans that he was in fact straight. Now, we talked about this with the Clyde Cash video, so if you want to go watch that, do that. That is in my troll series of videos. Among these was the Sailor Moon poster of fail, which Chris later explained that he looked at every night to keep himself straight. Chris hasn't realized the irony that he created, as most people would use the fact that a grown man has a poster of Sailor Moon on his wall as evidence that he is gay, not as evidence to refute it. Now, if I had to guess, I would say that his liking for Sailor Moon came from his friendship with Megan, because Megan said that she liked Sailor Moon first and that Chris Chan copied her. So this is more stuff as reference to the Megan saga, which is something I haven't talked about yet and might talk about in the future if you guys want me to. In typical Chris fashion, the revelation that he needed an object to remind him of his heterosexuality only served to tarnish his reputation even further. This is not the first time that Chris has referred to his heterosexuality as a status that he struggles to daily maintain, nor is this the first indication of his sick lust for anime girls. Now, when it comes to his heterosexuality, I would just say this. Chris Chan had mentioned before that he would never admit that he was gay, that he hates gay people, and that he would rather transition to being a woman than admit that he was gay. And now, years later, Chris Chan is transitioning to being a woman, quote-unquote transitioning. So, I would say that there's probably really good indications that Chris Chan is actually either gay or bi, and still just doesn't want to admit it. This is just another one of his little conditions that he set up to prove that he was straight and lie to himself about his own sexuality. What is new is that all the posters he could have chosen, he decided to choose one showcasing underage characters. On the right of the poster is Chibiusa, and I don't care if I say this right, I don't watch Sailor Moon, sorry for fucking up name. Sailor Moon's 8-year-old daughter from the future. On the left is Usagi, aka Sailor Moon herself, who is usually 14 to 16 years old. Now keep in mind that he stared at this specific poster to reinforce his sexual appetite. All in one, it doesn't matter which girl he looks at, he is still a pedophile, at least in his home state of Virginia. It also has to be noted that like many young anime females, Usagi's future daughter is distinctly tomboyish in appearance, which only strengthens the claim that he is a homo pedophile. It was presumably destroyed in the January 10th fire 2014. It is likely that this factor that resulted in Chris Chan starting to support homosexuality, but still hates jerks in general. Chris would later revisit the concept in 2018 when he taped a drawing of his wife and husband, Krizzle and Magic-chan, to his bedroom ceiling, as a way of furthering his delusions that his fictional characters are real. And that was the Sailor Moon poster of fail. It was introduced during the Clyde Cash stuff. It is a result of the Megan stuff, and it still connects to future events that are still going on. So this is actually an important thing to look at. It was an important thing to learn about.
Some of you may have seen the video which I've recently uploaded, saying that I was of the wrong orientation. But I want to let y'all know that I did that to save the life of a trusted gal pal, and she is eternally grateful to me for it. So yes, as you can tell from my nonverbal clues, I was lying out of my ass, but I did to save her life, because Clyde Cash would have harmed her, but I have gotten his word that he would not lay a finger on her.
Well, the quickie may be down, but that's not going to stop me from continuing to update this series. That's right, we are back. I found a bunch of web archives for a lot of the articles I still want to cover, so we are going to continue doing our series. Today we are going to be looking at a quickie article, and today's quickie article is covering yet again another thing that Chris Chan wasted either his money on or the money you guys bother donating to him. Today we're going to be looking at Chris Chan's plush breast. This one's a good one. Chris's pair of plush breasts is a pillow in the shape of human breasts and the color of Rosachu, meaning that they are pink. I censored out the photo. I will put that up later when I edit this. Purchased at the adult novelties section in the store Spencer's. It normally resided by the right hand wall of Chris's room as one entered the door next to his racks of games and videos, but subtle changes in its orientation over time suggest that Chris has picked it up and used it for ... something. And you really don't want to know what that something is, but we're about to talk about it regardless. It first appeared in the middle of October 2009 in the Warpaint video. Spotting the breast in Chris's YouTube rants quickly became a popular pastime amongst trolls. While designed to be an adult novelty, something along the lines of a gag gift that you would see at a stag or hen party, there lies a possibility that Chris has used this as one of his sex toys. His banging your breast fantasy during the Casey phone call lends itself to the suspicion that he might have used the plush tits for practice. Another possibility is that the plush breast played a role in Chris's cross-dressing. Between the 18th and the 30th of October 2010, in no fewer than 8 videos, Chris presented himself with the breast stuffed in his shirt, which you can actually get better fake breasts than that. That's a terrible substitute, and I bet you it felt really uncomfortable for him to have those in, but whatever he wants to do, I think he should have just padded a bra. It would have been a better solution than putting on those fake fucking breasts. In most of these videos, he was role-playing as female characters. For example, in Pregnant Act, they were used to breastfeed a blue teddy bear. I feel bad for that bear, incredibly bad. He also wore them in a video concerning breast cancer awareness. However, all these videos were specific requests of Jackie. Oh god, Jackie. I'm pretty sure we covered Jackie in the love interest video, but if we haven't, I need to soon. And Chris has never been seen wearing these breasts since, despite the acceleration of his feminine trajectory. The only possible exception was on the 26th of December 2014 when police reports indicate that he was wearing fake breasts. This opens the possibility that the plush breasts had not been destroyed by the 14th Branch Lane court fire. However, in the video of Chris's GameStop adventure, while his shirt might have been stuffed, he is nowhere near as blossomy as the plush breasts had made him in the earlier videos. So it's unclear if Chris has indeed resumed using the plush breast, or if his ballooning chest is simply due to his ever-increasing corpulence. I personally think it's him getting fatter or him taking hormones that gave him breasts. I don't know if he would wear that still, but I don't think he would. And for the police saying that he had fake breasts, maybe he was stuffing his bra that day. I don't think it was the fake breast, because if we're looking at the photos right here, when he had the fake breast in his shirt, it was really fucking obvious. You could instantly tell. You could see right there. You can see him hanging down. I'm not zooming in. One, because the photos will crash because this is an archive and not the original, and two, I don't want to get this video nuked for showing shit like that. But you can see that that they definitely sag more like that. Meanwhile, this is he just looks fat here in the GameStop video. But the GameStop video is where people accuse him of having fake breasts, but I don't think that's the case.
Oh my goodness, it's a big one. Oh, the split free. Hey. Well, congratulate me. I gave birth to a little beautiful baby bear. And she's female. Goodness. Wow. You think you look, that's why you look, child. You know you want out there. You know you want out there.
Hey everyone, Dylan here, and today we are going to be doing yet again another quickie discussion. Today we are going to be talking about yet again another thing that Chris Chan wasted his money on. We are going to be looking at one of his mini sex dolls. This one's name is Kimmy, and let me read this first little quote. Kimmy may look shy, but she's always ready and willing to satisfy your every need. Eager to learn about sex, she's a Japanese anime girl come to life. She's about 5 foot tall with a removable, realistic, lifelike 4 deep UR3 vagina to take you and drain you dry. Durable, inflatable design. Rescue her, teach her, and be her anime hero and lover. That is the description for this love doll by AdamandEve.com, which Chris has bought other stuff from Adam and Eve. Some stuff that I will talk about in the future. Kimmy, full name Kimmy the Anime Love Doll, alternatively known as Akio. Hopefully I said that right. Sorry if I fucked it up. I don't know Japanese shit. On some sex toy site, in case you want to shop around. Perhaps the most notorious of Chris Chan's sex toys. Chris has a reputation of dumping girls at a whim, but on the 20th of February 2009, the entire Sonichu community was shocked and appalled when they heard the news about Chris had cheated on his one and only true love, Officer Nasty, for some Asian slut by the name of Kimmy. The shocking events were uncovered due to the leaking of the infamous sex tape, a video so shocking it made Paris Hilton's sex tapes look like something that would have been shown on the Disney Channel, and the video that gave birth to the infamous Jewel meme. Chris stated in the Blue Spike Logs 10 that the doll I was using was not a doll I'd choose right away because of the V hole and A hole are linked together. So it's like my duck can go all the way through and stick out its a-hole. After moving to Ivy, Chris has further abused Kimmy by taping a drawing of Ivy's face to her and profusely slobbering all over it. Chris's habit of using Kimmy to represent his various e-girls has led to many new fags to believe that Julie or Ivy were in fact no more than sex dolls and a voice in Chris's head, rather than the master trolls they actually were. And we have some photos of this sex doll. Hopefully I don't have to censor this shit. Let's take a look at these photos of Chris Chan putting these fake fucking girls on there. This one is Chris with Ivy in quotation mark. This one is Chris kissing the Ivy sex doll, which is just Kimmy with Ivy's face put on her. And this is another one with Ivy, and I don't know, that looks like he put some clothes on it. Did he buy some sex doll clothes, or did that come with it? I don't know, but it's weird. It's weird that he fucking did this, and that was right after he kissed it, I assume. Oh no, and then he kisses it again. He kisses it in that one too. Okay, so yeah, that's great, Chris, and that's all there is to know about Kimmy the sex doll. And while we're here, we might as well read about Officer Nasty too, because they're both sex dolls. They're related to each other. The articles are really short, so let's just read about Officer Nasty as well. Officer Nasty was Chris's only sex partner until he dumped her ass for Kimmy, and only the jerk-offs that he trusts, though the only time she went down on him was when she got a puncture, because Chris is that fat that he actually popped a blow-up doll. According to Chris, Officer Nasty did suffer a serious internal injury and went down in the line of duty. He even claims that he's been through 3 Officer Nasty dolls already, a claim born out of the records of his orders from Adam and Eve. So Chris bought 3 of these from adamandeve.com. I guess he really likes Adam and Eve. It is hard to discern whether the punctures were caused by his massive girth, his bent duck, or both. Note that the pictures were not taken in Chris's room, but his family's filthy kitchen. Yes, he actually brought Officer Nasty out of his room, fully inflated. And this is a quote from Chris Chan. It says, it's just my artificial woman in her plastic blue outfit. Awesome to fuck. And cleaning maintenance is simple. So that blue outfit he put on the other doll was from Officer Nasty. That is so fucked up that you just recycled its clothes onto another doll. She'll only last until she has her internal injury. So that's Chris talking about his sex doll. Apparently he was buying really cheap sex dolls that kept popping on him, and I guess that's why he quit with these sex dolls. I don't know if he currently has a sex doll. Hey guys, Dylan here, and today we're doing another quickie discussion. Today's quickie discussion is part of the Relics of Fail series. Today's Relic of Fail is the PSP of Fail. One of Chris's abominations. Shocking? No, he really has no skills with collage. And this is what the PSP itself looks like. You can see a horribly photoshopped image of Chris Chan and Sonichu, and we'll get a better look at that in a second, but that is to confirm that yes, that does exist, that is real. And this is yet again another item paid for by your tax dollars, which means that Chris got this with one of his tugboat checks. Chris PlayStation Portable, in true and honest quick fashion, is covered with cut out pictures of Sonichu and Rosachu, Chris himself, and the colors yellow and blue, which one of those is Sonichu's favorite color, if not both of them, but Chris likes those colors too. To match the Eschew ball, it was revealed in Chris's big night out on the 12th of June 2009 when the cameraman cleverly revealed it from beneath the reusable target bag it was hidden under. The decals, if they were even referred to as such, is not applied directly to the PSP, but rather to the outer protective case, quite possibly to allow easier switching of collages. This relic is unique because it is the first of Chris's projects to feature an accurate representation of his appearance, rather than his slim and trim svelte alter ego from the comics. And in case you guys didn't know, Chris, when he would draw himself in the comics, he'd be really slim most of the time, but Chris in real life is fat. But weirdly enough, sometimes in the comics, Chris Chan was also depicted as fat, and this is before people even started fucking with him, so Chris is very inconsistent on how he drew himself, and some people think that he has like a disorder where he can't tell what people look like, and he can't really remember what they look like, but that's all speculation. Behind Chris there is another decal, part of an overhead view of Quickville. The Sonichu decal is somewhat out of the ordinary, being the original Sonichu from 2000 rather than his updated anime style appearance from the post Sonichu 5 comics, which in case you guys didn't know, because Chris Chan was obsessing over Megan, he decided to make all the characters get redesigns, and that's when Chris really slimmed up. Before, the characters looked fat, cartoony, and goofy, but after that they looked really generic, terrible, and knockoff anime-ish, which is what a lot of cartoons actually looked like at the time, so it's not too bad of a thing, but Chris Chan did it, so yeah, it's pretty bad. With the acquisition of the PlayStation Vita, it is very likely that the PSP will now sit in Chris's room for all of eternity, gathering dust like the rest of his junk, provided it survived the fire. And this is one of the other relics that we don't know if it still exists. It could be burnt up, Chris could have lost it, he could have sold it on eBay and not told people. Who knows where this artifact is now. I'm going to load up some images that were involved in this. Let me get these up real quick. We can see that this first one is Chris Chan's PSP skin. It says Christian Chandler, Quick Sonichu, which that is probably from his Quick Sonichu site. That's where that logo is from. That Sonichu in particular is from one of Chris's musical albums, which if you want me to cover that, comment down below. Maybe I'll do it eventually. That's where that art comes from. And they both are playing guitar, and Sonichu looks extra long. Very, very weird. The second one is terrifying, and when I said poorly photoshopped earlier, I meant it. It is poorly photoshopped. You can see the black borders all around Chris. It looks like it's straight out of a YouTube thumbnail, and he's using Comic Sans, Chris Chan and Sonichu, Warriors of Quickville, and a terrible depiction of Quickville in the background. And then we see the chaotic combo, and that's from one of the comic books, Sonichu and Chris Chan Sonichu, everybody's there. And then this really lame Parappa the Rappa and Guitar Hero cover, which is probably my least favorite of all of them. Hey everyone, Dylan here. Now today we are going to be doing yet again another quickie discussion. Today's quickie discussion, we will be continuing our trend of looking at things that Chris Chan has wasted his money on, or the money that you've donated to him. Today we will be talking about The Eye of Judgment, which is yet again another video game I never heard of. I was never really into PS3 games growing up, so this is all new to me. The Eye of Judgment is a card battle video game, kind of like Yu-Gi-Oh, I guess, for the PS3. And the only reason why Chris apologized to the gameplays, more Michael Snyder than anything, but yeah, he did mention that. He mentioned that in his apology to Michael Snyder. He was saying, I really want to play Eye of Judgment again, which is a terrible thing, because it really makes Michael not want to fucking forgive you. In his March 18th, 2009 video, Chris mentioned he would play in The Eye of Judgment, the DHT tournament, with the hopes of attaining a spot in the top 100 in order to win 3 promo cards. So I assume it's like you get little cards and you scan them, and then you play it like that. I know they tried that a couple times in the 2000s. They had like a shitty little red laser lens thing that you would scan the card across, and then the monsters would appear in the game. It's weird to see that PlayStation also tried this. I didn't hear anybody talking about this, considering he was still banned from the game place, which he said the only place he could buy the cards from. Really? No other place in Charlottesville sold them at all? That's weird. It is very likely that he only had the cards that the game came with, thus limiting his performance. It can be assumed from past competitions that Chris expected to win the competition. Although it is unknown if Chris ever won the competition, won the cards, or even participated, as he never brought up the tournament again. Custom cards. In holding out for a hero, Chris apparently decided that sweethearts just love it when you confess your love to them by talking about your hobbies, and showed his amazing custom Eye of Judgment cards, which of course he had custom cards because he did that with every fucking thing he was ever into ever. Pokemon, Yu-Gi-Oh, fucking Animal Crossing. We now know that when Chris enters epic high fantasy dimensions, there are those who call him Kristen C, the hero of Quickville Empire. Add 8 to his attack if his target is male. Really, if he's attacking a guy, he's gonna become even more powerful. So he plans on attacking women then. Okay, Chris. Given the cards work by being scanned with the PSI, it is unknown how he expects these things to work. So it is like I thought. There's like a scanner and you put the cards through the scanner. Okay. He may have printed new names and descriptions over the patterns of existing cards, as he did with his Animal Crossing cards that we've already looked at before in other videos. There's actually a chance that the cards could actually have worked. How? Wikipedia claims that due to the shit-tastic image recognition technology the game uses, even hand-drawn copies of existing cards work. Wow, that's fucking terrible. I knew this fucking technology would be shit because it's fucking early 2000s scanner technology, but that's even worse than I could have fucking guessed. Though given Chris's absolute lack of anything resembling artistic talent, this remains unlikely. Most likely they don't work and he pretends they do. Or he never tried to use them, because he never tried to use his Pokemon cards or his Yu-Gi-Oh cards in actual tournaments, so I don't know why he would start now. It is still possible to play the game IRL without the use of the PlayStation 3. What? Oh, so the cards can be played too. Okay, I didn't know that. That's cool. But even in that case, like, all of his custom abominations are horribly unbalanced and several shades of retarded. I mean, that's Chris Chan. All of his shit is just a power fantasy, but he's never actually tried to use them outside, like against people. He just makes them for fun. Hey guys, Dylan here. Now today we are going to be doing yet again another quickie discussion. Today's quickie discussion is going to be yet again another video in the series where we look at things that Chris Chan has wasted either his money on or the money that you guys donate to him. Today we are going to be looking at a more very non-controversial subject. It's just a game called Mod Nation Racers. So let's look into this. Mod Nation Racers is a customizable kart racing game for the PS3 and PSP that Chris has taken a liking to. It isn't quite 2010's answer to Little Big Planet, but it's close. In addition to providing autistics with simple gameplay used in all racing games and cute, gaily colored characters found in children's games, Mod Nation Racers is heavily based around user-generated content, much like Little Big Planet, which Chris actually really liked and got everything he could for that. The only achievement he didn't unlock was the play with a friend achievement, which is just the perfect thing for Chris Chan. Chris now can foist his questionable design skills upon the world through a kart racing game. Chris's Mod Nation career. When only the beta version of the game was available, Chris posted exactly 25 screen caps of him driving a yellow Sonichu themed kart around an empty racetrack on the Wikipedia. This is when Chris Chan actually owned that website, and that website is dead now. These were filed under original CWC art. Later, after the retail version arrived, he created a number of characters and cars. Images are available below, as well as a Quickville track. We will be looking at those characters in a minute. It is a great concern to Chris that despite his belief that he has a large fan base, barely anyone has bothered to download these poorly designed tracks and continue to whore it out every opportunity. I wonder if you can still download that. I wonder if you can still download his Sonichu shit. If this game is still getting support and you can still connect it to like online, I want to know. If anyone has this shitty fucking game, I want to see if you can actually download this track and character still. On July 17, 2010, Chris updated his Twitter account for the first time in ages, which is something I can't say now without being a liar, begging his imaginary followers to give him codes for special game content and to download his Quickville track so that he could acquire yet another trophy. The 26th of July saw yet another Twitter update, whining for downloads and positive reviews. That's all types of pathetic, but it's perfect for Chris. He also posted multiple threads on the forums at GameFAQs and GameSpot, making similar demands. God, come on, Chris. This isn't how you get someone to check out your shit. I'm sure that if you wait like 10 years, people will actually be interested in you again, and then they'll fucking check it out. I'm sure after this video, some people will try to check it out. When his initial begathons were deleted because those bastards' anti-soliciting policies, Chris, being Chris, just went ahead and posted them again because he can't take a fucking hint. Despite having all the free time in the world, Chris is mediocre at Mod Nation Racers because of course he would suck at the fucking game he obsesses over. This should come as a little surprise. After racing in 500 plus contests, Chris has only won 100 of these. Wow, that's a terrible fucking ratio. 500 and you've only won 100. That's fucking sad. With a noticeable disconnected and didn't finish tally. Oh no, I think he has decent internet connection. I think he just rage quit over and over again, indicating some tarred rage present. God, I bet you he was throwing the controller all around. Mod Nation Chris about to go snake hunting. Sonichu license plate. Really? Is it a Sonichu license plate? Ah, come on. It's Sonichu just like in real life. Fucking Chris. God. Is this his Quickville track? I think it is. God. Chris plows his car into an orange pylon. Chris Chan running shit over, just like in real life. Post-beta creations. It is now generally accepted that if you give Chris a character creation tool, he'll make himself and then Sonichu. Mod Nation Racers is no exception. The cars Chris has created actually contain a few relatively faithful replicas of real cars. Inside sources report that that this isn't Chris taking an interest in cars, but Chris regaining his once thought lost interest in Hot Wheel toys. How very mature. And let's actually take a look at all these characters he made. This is his Chris Chan. As you can tell, it looks just like him, and by that I mean the only way you can tell it's Chris Chan is by the grandpa glasses and the Sonichu medallion. I guess they didn't have a striped shirt, so he had to improvise and just go red. This is Sonichu. He looks creepy as all hell. I was actually looking to see if you could mod the game to have better characters. I seen a better Sonichu than this, so his Sonichu looks fucking terrible, but I guess this was like early on in its career. He tried to make it look like Sonichu though. I'll give him an A for effort. This is his fucking Rosachu, which his Rosachu looks more faithfully created because he got the clothing design right, which I'll give him that. That was probably really difficult to do, but he didn't get the tail. He didn't get the tail. I guess you couldn't do that. And then for some reason he added in Lego Chris Chan, which no one but him will fucking care about that character, and it's basically just him again. Ah, come on, the Lego Infomaniac? Only people who played the fucking early Lego games will know who the fuck that is. First Transformers Racer, what is that a reference to? I don't even know what he made there. And I'm skipping over these ones that I know 100% aren't Sonichu related. He made Wild Sonichu, which I'm actually shocked he got the ears right. It's not just a clone of Sonichu. He made Punchy Sonichu, which he actually made the eyes squinty, so he's really trying to faithfully recreate his shitty fucking OCs. Magichan, which Magichan looks extremely mad, which is uncharacteristic for him because he's usually a really calm character, but he's even got an angry face, so I don't know what Chris is doing there. We got Bubbles Rosachu, who looks like she's fucking dead, and it looks like she's got a dick on her chest. Her fucking fur pattern looks like a dick. I don't even know what else to say to that. And then we got Angelica, which she looks like a Rouge the Bat reject. We've got a car for Sonichu, which that looks like Sonichu, right? It's got CWC7 on it. I don't know why you put a 7 there. This is Rosachu's car, apparently. He's got some Zap Buds on it. It's designed after her. That's decent enough. And then he recreated the fucking Pussy Wagon, the fucking Sonchu car. Oh god, I can't believe he fucking did that. It's actually a pretty faithful recreation of his own car in real life. Ah, fuck. And then he did a bunch of Hot Wheels cars, and I really don't care. Like, with the rest of this, it's not really important.
Oh my god, you're not gonna believe this. I just come across Chris Chan's Fun Nation profile. Just no Weem in a PlayStation 3 game. PlayStation game. Well, what the hell? Try to choose.
I've seen three-toed sloths move faster.
Hey guys, Dylan here. Now, today we are going to be reading another quickie discussion. Today's quickie discussion is going to be 2 articles on toys that Chris Chan has bought, either with the money that you guys donate to him, or money that the state gives him. The first one we are going to be looking at is known as Christine Doll, and we start with this little quote from Chris. I was feeling lost for a very long time. I was also out of mental sync. I don't know what that even means. I finally feel sorted now. Thank you, me. The Christine Doll. Oh, that's a quote from the doll in Sonichu 12:9. God, I hate how Chris labels shit. Comic. Thanking Nightstar after being reborn as a clone of her. Wow, that's fucking weird. The Christine dolls are dolls ostensibly modeled after Chris, custom made from a vinyl scratch My Little Pony toy, meaning that he probably just fucking painted over it, figure, and a Skylanders 3D printed game avatar, which they don't actually talk about here, so I'm actually going to be opening another article in a second to read over that. The dolls seem to serve a similar function as the medallion, in that they broadcast to the public his interest in gender identity and of course the fact that he is autistic. And here's a photo of the 2 dolls, and they labeled it as "This is sad," and you can see the Skylanders toy that I will be talking about after I'm done talking about this My Little Pony abomination. And the fucking god, the strokes aren't even like consistent on the fucking My Little Pony toy, and he's proud of this. Like, you can see where the paint is chipping, but okay, I guess that's what he fucking wants. At least the Skylanders one looks good, but you'll find out why it looks good in a minute. The first appearance of the MLP doll was in a paid video request entitled Singing an Old Ditty, in which is perched on the desk. During a subsequent request video, Chris said that this is another custom figure I made. Our hair matches. A few months later, in January 2017, he began showing off another custom Christine doll, this one designed in the Skylanders video game. And that's what we're going to be reading in a second. In public. He was spotted in public with the MLP figurine sticking out of his purse. Yes, he carries around a purse because he's still trying to convince people that he is a woman. A balding woman, but still a woman. By a field agent who snapped his photo at Toys R Us in September of 2016. RIP Toys R Us. When Chris went to the Seaville LGBT Pride event a few days later, he posted a photo to Facebook showing the Christine doll holding hands with another vinyl doll, with the caption, "Vinyl and I are enjoying the music at Seaville Pride 2016. Chris photographed himself playing with both the Christine dolls in public at the End Games in January 2017. His habit of bringing his toys in public to play with is not exclusive to these. In 2015/16, he brought amiibos modeled after Sonichu and himself to places such as McDonald's and OmegaCon. I'm sure the people at McDonald's really wanted to see him play with his shitty wannabe reject Happy Meal toy. Role-playing. Chris displayed yet another sign of his deteriorating mental condition when he uploaded a set of videos in September of 2016, a paid request, and his political commentary in which he continuously says "we" in reference to himself and the doll. In December of 2016, he still had this disturbing habit, as seen in the Z-Ring Fun Extra at the 1 minute 34 second mark, when he knocks over the doll and calls it himself. He again posted them as lesbians, photographing the scene and posting it to Facebook the following year. And this is the photo that they are talking about right there. Enjoy that for the few people who actually like that. The MLP doll was featured in a Little Fluttershy singing imitation in a video of Chris's doll singing in a voice from the MLP show, which he tweeted at the actual voice actors. I feel bad for her. I feel bad for her that she knows that someone's taking her voice and is playing with dolls, and it's a grown fucking man. In the comic, in Sonichu 12.9, the MLP Christine doll appears as an alternate dimension doppelganger of the humanoid Night Star, which I don't fucking know what that is, and I'm not even going to try and know what that is. I'm not that far in the comic, and is also given the name Night Star, although her full name is Christine Night Weston Star Chandler. So that means yet again another fucking character with a name similar to Chris's is running around, even though they're kinda Chris but also not Chris. That makes like fucking 5 characters with the name Chris or Christine in some form or fashion. She is described as an old prototypical friend. What is a okay, just fuck it. Of Night Star and Christine's. After the two met up, Night Star shows off her cutie mark, a sign of one's destiny stamped on their hip, a concept Chris ripped straight off of My Little Pony, which, God, Chris, why you gotta fucking work My Little Pony in the Sonichu? Seeing her doppelganger's mark is enough for her to transform Night Star into a new form that more closely matches Night Star's. The scene was presumably written by Chris to retcon his prototype pony Sona to visibly resemble his newer one. From a reader's perspective, this scene highly is confusing, as Night Star had only just debuted in this comic in the very same scene that she was magicked into a new form that looks identical to a character who has only recently debuted in the story. both of whom are based on Chris's ideal view of his tomgirl self. But that's dealing with Sonichu. That's always been Sonichu, just like when Nate Cirque transformed to look identical to Chris Chan. It makes no sense, but that's shit that happens in Sonichu. Destruction. And of course, because it's fucking Chris Chan, the thing that he bought with other people's money, he fucking destroyed it. On January 16th, 2018, Chris filmed himself destroying the Christine doll after the idea guy convinced him it was bugged by Nazis, because the idea guy was working a lot of Nazi shit into Sonichu. And this is its terrible remains. You can see its legs broken, its hair broken. Ah, God. What a bad end for this shitty fucking doll. Remains of, yeah, God. He crushed it with the bedpost. He couldn't even break it himself. Couldn't even get a brick or anything like he did with the fucking PS3. Resurrection. On February 19, 2018, Chris unveiled new versions of the doll. Chris painted white stripes on the figure's arms and a triangle on its chest, intended to resemble the Adidas tracksuit from the Gopnik video, which Chris had worn regularly since his debut in Cherokee Enchant. I don't know what the fuck that is. What the fuck is Cherokee Enchant? Oh, it's a video. God, what the fuck? I need to do a video on that too. What the fuck is Cherokee Enchant? Chris does not seem to care that the figure shirt does not resemble the tracksuit in either color or fit. Check it out. Updated Nightstar and myself Equestria Girl minifigures, and I guess we're gonna zoom in on these. Let's take a look at them. Oh God, the pink one. The pink one looks like it's covered in rashes because the paint is so inconsistent, and that one looks like its face is melting this time around. Oh God, this one looks worse than the original figure. It literally looks worse than the original one. It's got a paper Sonichu medallion, even though Chris said he would never wear a paper medallion. I guess his dolls can wear a paper medallion. Oh God. And then we see them hanging out with the amiibos. And the amiibos are just as shittily painted, but I shouldn't be shocked. It's fucking Chris Chan we're dealing with here. Oh God. And then we have one with her hanging out with his Sonichu form, updated to be a female. So yeah, that's all the fucking toys here. And then we see a photo right here. I'm not clicking on all of these, but we see a toy right here. That's the fucking Skylanders figure, and I'm gonna explain how he got that in a second. And then this is a page from the comic after that character transforms, and now that character, who somewhat looked original, is now just a clone of Chris Chan, meaning that we have Chris Chan's sister Crystal, fucking Nate Cirque, and this character all being clones of Chris Chan. Literal fucking clones. God. The Sonichu comic. Fuck the Sonichu comic. And now we are going to go over to the other one. Chris Chan versus Chaos, and he spelled Chaos wrong. Chris tempts his audience into purchasing merchandise via silently playing Skylanders while his television plays History Channel's reality series Pawn Stars, because of course they would be into that. In the background, he misspelled Chaos, the character's name. A Kiwi Farms user provided an explanation of Chris's plan. Let's take a look at his character screen real quick though. I wanna see what this character looks like. It literally looks like an SJW feminist stereotype. It looks like what you would see in one of the fucking anti-SJW memes. Like, it's got a round face and blue hair. That's Chris's character though. It says Christine Chandler, level 6. And he made it an angel because of the whole CPU shit. If you use the Skylanders app to make your own character, like Chris has done with the blue-haired person here, you can then pay to have them professionally printed by the Skylanders company for $14.99 for a card, $24.99 for a t-shirt, and $49.99 for a figure, which Chris did get the figure. We know that because we saw the figure hanging out with his other figures. Chris is probably looking for a resale at a profit. So Chris is saying, watch my blue-haired character fight in this video, and then pay me to order some merchandise of it through the app, which he did. We know that he has the toy. He says he is not using the app's chirp feature. Chirp, what the fuck is chirp? Because chirp is a way of transferring and sharing his creation. Doing so would let people order his character directly, cutting Chris out of the loop and whatever price hike he has in mind. Okay, so if he used this fucking chirp feature, then people would be able to get it themselves and get it for the regular value, What Chris Chan wants to do is order the shit himself and then double the price and then fucking sell it to people online. What a fucking asshole. Dear God. And then let's take a look at some of his gameplay. It won't really matter because I'm not going to turn up the volume. I don't want any chances of a copyright strike. This is some Skylanders shit. If the Skylanders company is even still around, because I know that game is fucking dead now. So yeah, Chris wanted you to buy this figure, and he wanted you to buy shit of this character, even though it's just a shitty Skylanders OC, and no one even fucking likes Skylanders anymore. But yeah, that was Chris Chan's toys. Hopefully you guys learned something from this article. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. I tried something new by reading multiple articles because I knew the Chris versus Chaos would be a really short one, and I would rather have it tied in with the other one than be its own thing. If you guys learned something, then hit that like button. If you really like it, then share it, and if you want to see more videos like this, then subscribe. Bye guys.